and welcome to podcast number 43.
43!
We're going to be catching up with the latest film and TV news. And then in the second part of today's podcast, we're actually going to be sharing an interview that Iain and I had with the legend Lloyd Kaufman of Trauma Entertainment for the middle section. And then, of course, in the third part of the podcast, we will be answering your questions. So, there is one thing that I'm pretty sure the internet wants to hear us talk about, and it's one of those superhero movies that comes out every so often that gets darker and grittier with every release and every iteration.
Man, Morbius, I can't fucking wait.
I'm right.
Oh my god.
Vampires in Marvel. No, wait. The Batman.
Oh shit, yeah.
No Sony movies.
Well, I did notice some dude has asked us about it in the questions. So do we want to do it now, or do you want to wait for the questions?
Let's do it now.
Do it now. I want to hear it now.
So, shall I go first? I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Only just saw it on Wednesday.
Wiki did. Fuck and I'm not going to go. I told you I'm not going to go and spend 3 hours in the cinema.
I just love how we had a conversation just for the podcast. Like, how many Resident Evils did you see in the cinema? And I'm like, fucking none of them.
Ian, you've got it the wrong way around.
I know. But come on, like, how good was it? How visual?
I'll let you go first, sir.
Okay, when I walked out of the cinema, now I've always said this, when I leave the cinema, I walk out starry-eyed and I get that cinema experience which makes me go, everything I see in the cinema is amazing, and it's only on a second viewing or time to think on it, we're actually going, actually, that was a piece of shit. What the fuck was I thinking? I did not get that feeling with the Batman.
The starry-eyed or the piece of shit feeling?
The starry-eyed feeling.
Oh, okay,
I walked out going, meh. I immediately I actually went to sleep for about 10 minutes in the film because I got so bored and my biggest criticism of the film is that I had only 2 scenes in the film, maybe 3 scenes in the film where I actually felt something, and it was. I don't want to go into what those scenes were specifically, but I didn't connect with Batman. I liked Alfred, but I didn't feel any emotions in the film, and because it was 3 hours long, I was just waiting for it to get to something happening. And I will say the action scenes were fantastic. It is a very good portrayal of the Batman, but 3 hours plus 30 minutes of trailers, it was a long time in there. And I don't mind long movies so long as I get really invested. Now, it was a really good detective movie. Probably the best detective movie with Batman that there has been. It did feel fresh. But I just felt like I didn't connect with the characters on some level. I don't know if it's because, this film doesn't have an origin story. It assumes the origins of Batman. Yeah. But jumping into the story at this point, I had a disconnect getting into it. Now, the other biggest issue, I'm just talking about my criticisms here first, really, was the color grading of the entire film. It was incredibly dark. Thematically dark, but they decided to darken the entire film, and I was just like, man, I saw more of what was going on in Alien vs. Predator 2. That is an extreme I'm being extreme here. I'm being hyperbolic. I know. But I just want you to know where I'm coming from. And I understand that they wanted to make this film look different to the other Batman movies, and visibly it does. Now, I will also say that when I got home and I watched the trailer again for the Batman, I was like, I can see the film. I don't know whether it was the cinema that had the film being really dark for some reason. I don't know whether the emergency lights, the lights going down the middle of the screen affected the presentation. Oh, man,
I hate it when they keep them lights on. It sucks.
So
I was going to say, I don't think they had those on when I watched it.
No, they were on for me. Yeah.
Did you watch it in The View?
Yes, The View.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Certain screens they turn those lights on, and certain
I didn't know they weren't on.
Yeah, so it was very distracting. It wasn't pitch black for me. It was very distracting.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those films where I need to see it again. Now, I did enjoy the action scenes. Agreed. I did enjoy Colin Farrell, I didn't even recognise, because I went into this film not knowing who all the actors that were going to be in it. And I didn't even realise it was him until Jess went, yeah, it was Colin Farrell. And I was like, no.
The makeup. The makeup.
So,
yeah, it was amazing.
The makeup was great. The action scenes were great.
That's a fucking Oscar tip, that is. That's got to be a fucking best makeup tip.
But yeah, my criticisms were no emotional investment in the characters. Maybe, Selena had some moments, and there were some moments with Batman towards the end. But to go that long and not feel anything, I was just like, is it something wrong with me, or is it the
You're dead inside, Gary.
No, I don't. No, because I watched the same day. I watched the is it the Adam Project?
Yeah.
I watched that the same day, and I was like, man, why did I enjoy this more? And I was like, that's because
it's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds. It was fun. I got behind the characters, the motivations. I understood what they were trying to do, and so I don't know whether I don't know what the issue is there, but yeah, that was me coming out of the cinema. It's been a few days now, and I've chatted for a few more people, and I've gone like, you know what, I'm probably being very harsh on the film. But still, if I was going to give it a score out of 10, I would still say it's a solid 7 out of 10 movie for me.
Cool, man. I mean, like, I totally agree with the fact of I'm like, man, I gotta watch that movie again to see, because I keep getting asked, where does it sit? Is it the best one? Is it this, that, or the other, and blah blah blah. And I said, like, and I'm kind of like, I really don't know until I watch it like 17 more times. So it's up, 4K. So it's up there, yeah. So I've until I've bought it on every format and watched any of the others
on your phone. No.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I left very happy. Still, I really enjoyed the movie. It's interesting because I wouldn't have had some of the problems you did because of I'm like, how there was no origin story? Yeah. Good. Yeah. I do not need to ever see Popcorn and Pearls ever again. I don't need. Popcorn and Pearls. Yeah, man. It's true, isn't it? They leave the fucking cinema. Fucking Pearls. Bang! I'm fucking Batman. We get it. It's fine. They lead in. They lead
the Uncle Ben
2 years exactly. It's 2 years in to They tell you that straight away. So I'll go the other way because don't get me wrong, I have a few criticisms of the movie as well, but since you just gave all yours, I'm going to go the other way.
Yes,
and I'm
going to
say all my good things.
Yeah, no, please do.
Okay,
please do.
So all right. So I had like a tick list of things that I did and didn't want to see in the movie. So and again, these are mine. No, this is I love everyone knows I'm a huge Batman fan. A fucking million comics. I've desecrated my flesh with with images of the characters. I love still that even in 2022, when there's a Batman movie out, it's a fucking big deal. No other superhero has had this many. It hasn't had that many people playing before, has it? I can't think. No, I was even thinking about. I was like Superman, Wolverine.
Superman's had a lot if you include TV stuff.
Totally, and live action as well. Movie-wise, Batman is still the most cast. The versions of him. I love the fact that it's still a big deal, and no matter what people talk about it. And the one thing I've noticed about this movie on the internet is everyone's got a fucking opinion. Yeah. And you know what? They're all right. Yeah. All of them are fucking right. If you didn't like the movie because it was too dark, you're right. But I do have some counterpoints that I would just say. So first of all, the movie. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but he fucking narrates what he's doing, and I damn near took the head off the guy sat in front of me. I was so happy because I nearly kicked him.
I liked that because added to the noir
comic
story.
Dude, I can literally pull any comic off the fucking shelf, flip it open and go,
the little corner section
he's fucking talking. He's like, I've been following fucking Two-Face for 9 days. He's did this, he's done that. And you even see him writing in what is essentially the fucking black case.
Which he does do
writing in his diary. So exactly. Fucking Batman Returns. Michael Keaton, right at the end, bless him, rips his rubber mask off. Where's that fucking eye makeup gone? It's a tiny thing, but I love the fact that he's literally like, when he's going out to fight crime, he's like, oh, whoop, puts his fucking eye makeup on because he needs that because he's not always in the suit. Yeah. I love the fact that the movie is called The Batman, and motherfucker, he is the Batman for 90% of this movie.
Yeah, there's very little Bruce Wayne.
There's very little Bruce Wayne. And I'll address them in there because I know a lot of people had a problem with the fact they were like, there's no difference in the performance between Batman and Bruce Wayne. And I agree, there isn't. And good, because he's young. He's not learned to be Bruce Wayne yet. Exactly. He's Bruce Wayne is the not to get too philosophical. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Yeah. Bruce Wayne is the costume that Batman wears.
Yes,
he hasn't learned to. Absolutely. Now, I'd have liked him to be maybe slightly less dickish toward Alfred, who I think got undersold in this movie because Andy Serkis was great and I wanted more of him. It's a 3-hour movie and I'm like, put more in of Alfred. Yeah. But like again, not really heavily spoilers, but there's a point where Alfred sort of wakes up and isn't very well, and it's like wakes up, sees Bruce, and Bruce is like, "You fucking lied to me," and I'm like, "Dick, fuck, dude."
Those were the emotional scenes, the Alfred and Bruce scenes. I connected with those because it was like a father-son, relationship that they have, the surrogate father, essentially.
Yeah, man. So there were points that I love like that. I thought the explanation of the bat signal was fucking perfect as far as I'm concerned. Nolan touched on it. I don't want, I was saying to you, didn't I, that I'd recently rewatched Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta stop watching this movie. I keep pulling it apart and picking more fucking things wrong with it. And I was like, and I want to love it. But Nolan sort of touched on it, but they really sort of like he's narrating it. He's saying, I can't be everywhere at once. When that light goes in the sky, people fucking freak out, and they do those wonderful shots of like, there's like 3 shots of 3 different crimes happening, and in all 3 times they're like looking down dark alleys going, is he about to come out? And they stop what they're doing, and in one of them he comes out, and it's violent and it's great. So there were so many sort of like wonderful things about it. I think it's a great start for a new Batman trilogy.
Yeah,
I'm
very excited to see more.
I love the fact that Matt Reeves is doing these series where he's taking. I mean, Colin Farrell's got a series as Penguin, great, because amazing performance. And again, fanboy in me is like, as soon as someone literally went, they were like, "Where's Penguin?" And they were like, "He's in the Iceberg Lounge." And I'm sat there like, someone just said Iceberg Lounge in a movie. That's enough for me sometimes. Shit like that. But they're doing an Arkham series because again, Matt Reeves is very much, this is like the origins. This is the origin of the Rogues Gallery.
Yes.
And they're doing an Arkham series, and Matt Reeves did an interview recently, because I've been watching loads of it, because he's a really interesting guy to listen to, actually. And he was saying about how the main plan with the Arkham series is, if we bring someone into the Arkham series and they're going to be in a movie, it will be that part. It's like if you see Mad Hatter in Arkham, and I think in the interview, and he said something like Mad Hatter, and I was like, what? I was like, fucking Mad Hatter will be in the new Batman. He was like, that would be the Mad Hatter that we would bring in. So which means they're being very careful. They're treating it with a bit of respect and stuff like that. Yeah. Which is great. I need to watch it again and again and again and again, see where it sits. I was like, is it better than Mask of the Phantasm? But I really, really enjoyed it. I totally pulled more out of it that I enjoyed than I didn't. I'm sure as I watch it more, I will probably criticise a few. I mean, like, even finishing it, I was like, this is great. It's the most detective he's ever been. Yeah. Riddles weren't that hard, though. To be fair, I think I said one out loud in the first one he did, but you get to see a great version of detective mode.
Yes, yeah.
Which again, I'm trying to tread lightly and not spoil it too much, but you do get to see like a detective mode. The suit is straight out of the Arkham games, man, as well. Like I know it's been in the trailers, but you really get to see him use the suit, and I love the fact that there's certain things that he does where you're watching it going, you're not good at this yet.
Yes,
you're not good at what
still learning.
I mean, you're fucking harder than a coffin nail. Like, you'll fight and everything like that. But yeah, there's certain Batman things that he does where you're like, oh, that was a rough landing. That one. You felt that one. I really
enjoyed those moments. Yeah, they were great.
So yeah, that was great. The ending. I like the ending. It did feel pace-wise. It felt like the movie was like building, and it come to this amazing crescendo about 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and you were like, yeah, and then it wasn't done, and you were, what? Okay, and I still enjoyed it, but I was a bit like, I think I'm at that point where I'm like, I can't argue against anyone who's like, you could have cut 20 minutes out of that movie. I'm like, you probably could, but I still didn't feel that it was too long at 3 hours, so I'm really like,
sure. I felt like it had too many endings where I kept thinking, scene and credits. Nope, there's more.
I think that last trailer in a way didn't help, because I was like, okay, I can already see what's going to happen with the Riddler because of that trailer.
Because of trailers, okay,
Again, they tried to make. It's funny. Someone said the other week, and I was like, fuck, you're right, because I was like, they basically tried to make Seven a Batman movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And then someone was like, Seven is a Batman movie. Morgan Freeman's Batman and Brad Pitt is Robin. And I was like, and I was like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
That was the connection I made. What?
Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm like, who gets their head?
Yeah,
I was like, who gets their head cut off? Spoilers.
If Brad Pitt's Robin,
Why not? I was definitely thinking of Seven while I was watching it. Because of the grimy look of Gotham.
And I do. He's finished his tournament. Sorry. I mean, again, they brought Gotham to life in a wonderful way. So I totally, way more positives. Totally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll continue to enjoy it. But it's a lot to dismantle in one go. But I honestly think it's the best real interpretation of Batman. And I'm going to catch stick for that because they're like, no, Nolan. It's like, no, it's still very much a real guy being Batman. Where
Val Kilmer was up there.
William, what did you think of the Wikipedia's description of the Batman? Was it good?
Well, I mean,
was it 3 hours long?
It was shorter than 3 hours.
Fucking read through it in 20 minutes. What's everyone talking about?
Obviously, when I read it through, I not watched the trailers myself, so I didn't actually have the visuals to go along with it. But you did get. I got the impression with the Riddler character, like in this one they were trying to go with the Joker version of it. The Riddler is a maniac. He's insane, and obviously we need the Batman to obviously chase him down because obviously what you said, it was like a Seven movie. This guy, we need somebody. Need somebody unhinged like Batman to take down this guy who is unhinged.
No, because I mean the and again, great bit of like sort of storytelling to put them where they are is he's got one ally in the Gotham City Police Department. That's Gordon. If you don't have Gordon, he ain't got dick.
Yeah.
So it's not so much that they need him. I'd say it's almost like saying they begrudgingly accept his help. They kind of don't at any point in the movie, really.
It also felt like 3 hours was just too much for just this one Batman movie.
You have to watch it.
I know.
To decide that, though.
That's why I'm going to wait until it comes out on DVD, because I can watch it at home, I can pause it, I can ingest it. I've just seen. Yeah. I already.
It's like the Justice League thing, right? When it's like 4 hours, it's like you don't have to watch it in 4 fucking hours.
No, that's it. I already know I'm really going to enjoy it because it's a Batman movie. They're hitting all the notes that I need to see, all the darkness, all the grittiness. Just him beating the crap out of people. The way you guys describe the fact that he's 90% Batman in this, and Bruce Wayne only a little bit.
Volume
bit low. Well, I'll just speak louder, guys. Like,
thanks everyone.
It's nice that actually Robert Pattinson got this chance to play Batman, and not actually have to put out his Bruce Wayne. Where now, if they brought in a sequel, would we actually have more Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, I'd really hope that they expand on that and that we have more. We see that performance develop.
I don't actually think they need to do that because we already had that with Nolan, with Christian Bale.
Yeah, but like you're saying, you would expect to see that change.
Yeah, but do you not just want to see, Robert Pattinson actually just like train more, put on that suit, and just beat the crap out of just like what's the comic book where the city gets taken out?
No Man's Land, which they kind of
because something happens in this movie actually goes.
No Man's Land in the comics was there was a huge earthquake in Gotham, and it basically they kind of did it in Dark Knight Rises, where it turned into a fucking Escape from New York. Just
go with that. Go with more pushing that. Do you really want the relationship with Catwoman?
I can always take it or leave it, but it's always a great in all of the books, man. It's always a great back and forth, and they've really pushed it heavily in the last few years in the comics, actually. But also, I thought that those two were great together. I thought that Zoe Kravitz was great.
They were great.
There was actually it sounds really funny because there's not a lot of levity in this movie, but they had one of the funniest fucking scenes together, actually, where like she thinks he's about to do something and he does. I was watching, like, that was actually way funnier than it needed to be. But I would like to see it more. But I'd also, do you know what? I wouldn't have a problem where Catwoman kind of takes off for most of the next movie, maybe, and stuff. Yeah. They've got that wonderful place to go where it's like they've started him really young, and they can age him up in the next one.
If the films take a while to obviously produce, and Robert Pattinson gets older as he goes.
That's fine.
These do tend to happen.
That would work. That would work.
Again, though, I'd like to see more. I'd like to give Colin Farrell more as Penguin. Yeah. I'd like to see more Andy Serkis as Alfred, because that was very good. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the Riddler, as much as I like the Riddler and everything like that, but I'm kind of like, we can put that one. I think we can put that one to the side now. And bring in a new main sort of antagonist. One of my other Court of Owls is the way I want to go. Basically.
I was very excited because I knew who was playing the Riddler in this one, Paul Dano.
Yeah, and see now I've not seen anything with him in.
Okay, so There Will Be Blood, which I did just before Batman came out. And
I have seen it. You're right.
I was very excited to see what he could do with the character. He's only got 10-15 minutes of screen time, so I was like, this is the major antagonist of the movie, and we don't get much time with him. And because he's very expressive, he wears a mask the entire time as well. So it's just.
But when you say not much screen time, but Batman's investigating him, does it? Did you want to see more Paul Dano?
Yes, I did.
Or were you supposed to just get the Riddler?
Look, for instance, Heath Ledger's Joker. You got lots of the Joker. In this one, you don't get a lot of the Riddler.
Well, that's what
you feel his presence because everything about the film is about figuring out what he's trying to do.
That's what I was worried about. Like I said, I only wikid it. I was worried they were trying to make the Riddler the new Heath Ledger's Joker by making him the new anarchist that Batman has to go after.
So. But that opening scene though is great.
If he's not, then that's
good really great. Actually, Scott actually made me jump. There was a fucking jump scare in the first minute. I was like, oh shit! I was like, all right, is this what we're doing? Bastard, got me.
If he's not, then he is better off making the Riddler unique for this movie.
Maybe he'll be an arc,
and then maybe get more obviously.
Well, Dave is right in the chat that Peacemaker needs to be in the sequel naturally.
Right,
but then I now think that Peacemaker should be in every DC thing ever.
Yeah, he's Deadpool for DC.
Totally.
Well, anything else that you guys want to talk about? Anything to catch up with?
All right.
We played Die Hard.
We played Die Hard board game.
Fucking great.
We had to jimmy some of the things.
We had to figure it out.
We had to figure it out, and then obviously the jump towards the end. I did jump off the roof just as you were about to blow the roof, and then realised.
Oh, you were McClane?
I was McClane, and had to work out a whole card deck of trying to defeat his terrorist guys. We had our own objectives to do.
Yeah, so McClane is kind of doing each act is based on something in the film, and then the thieves are trying to basically just slow you down to get enough time where I've got to open the locks on the thing.
Yeah, so and I've got to try and stop him before he can do that.
But I can't open the last one till the last act, so it's kind of like, do I try and stop him here, or do I try and make sure? Because if I haven't got enough locks open and stuff,
once you jump off the roof,
no right to be that tactical in a way.
You should have to just shoot hands, but you have to go through this whole combat system where hands is invincible, and you have to knock them out the window. And Andy just went, I'm going to blow up the roof, and blew up the roof. So the terrorist won.
We thought you'd won it at first.
Yeah,
because we misread the rules. So just shoot him in the fucking face. I was like, shit, that was really, that was way too easy. And then when read the rules, like, oh no, it's way harder than that. But yeah.
Well, man, I got to talk about Welcome to Raccoon City. I watched that for the podcast. Yes.
Yeah, we've been through this once before we started.
Still on the Facebook. I'm going with it, man. How do you make a fucking Resident Evil movie without Barry Burton?
You don't.
You know, you do, obviously, because I watched it. You know, how do you have a Resident Evil movie where Leon is a pussy?
I told you, it's based on Resident Evil 2.
How can you have Wesker and Jill in a relationship, or what you're supposed to believe is a relationship, because the movie is pushing it towards a relationship? I even told Andy, she even says Jill Sandwich in this movie. Like, say what you want about the Paul Anderson.
I couldn't even fake it. I wanted to wind you up, be like, "That's great, right?" I was like, "Can't even do it."
Can't even do it.
Can't even bring myself to do it.
The Paul Anderson movies were bad, but they weren't. Like, we said they were insulting, but then we watched this, and how insulting was Welcome to
it turns out they were masterpieces.
That's how it feels like after a while.
Well, I keep asking, why is this so fucking hard?
I don't know why it's
so fucking hard.
Just give me the Resident Evil franchise movie rights. I'm glad.
There's a series, right? There's a series coming.
See, I thought
Netflix. But that's an alternate universe Resident Evil.
Where it's good.
Where Wesker's got daughters and some such.
Man, what fucking alternative universe was Welcome to Raccoon City?
I don't know. Stop calling it a city.
It was a fucking town. Like the guy that plays William Birkin, who name escapes me, he's that actor who's
McDonough.
Oh, he's that guy.
What?
McDonough,
right? He turns up like 3 times. You know, he turns up at the beginning. He fucking speaks to Claire and Chris. He's like, "Oh, you're Claire and Chris Redfield." Ha ha.
How long until a zombie attacks someone?
An hour.
57 minutes.
Fuck that noise. Not gonna happen. Don't tell me the Batman is too long, bitches.
Man, fucking.
Because within 3 minutes, I was watching Batman beat the fuck out of someone.
The entire underground facility that is this laboratory is an office the size of my room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Claire, that's the scale.
That's a basement, dude. That's not an underground world.
And
that's
the
a
thing
basement.
is, like, the Raccoon City.
Driving to the city or town, Raccoon City, in the truck from Resident Evil 2.
I was just about to say, is she in like a Suzuki?
No,
like a Vitara, you know, with a fucking.
Yeah, she's in this truck, right? And he's got this Doberman dog, right? And he's latching onto her, he's grabbing her thigh, like, "Oh yeah, baby," right? And fucking, he's looking at her and he doesn't see the woman in the middle of the road, so he whacks it. I'm going for spoilers, I don't give a shit, right? Whacks the zombie, right? The woman dies, and as they're looking at the body, and Claire turns around to give him shit because he's all worried he's going to lose his truck, the zombie gets up and walks off.
Cool.
Just like zombies in the game.
So is it better than Army of the Dead?
No.
Oh man, actually, you know, Army of the Dead has merit over Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah.
They got a tiger in that.
Yeah. It was bad.
So that's a plus.
Yeah. So, Guardians of Justice on Netflix. Man, I finished it. You haven't finished it yet.
I know, you keep giving me shit.
2.5 episodes in.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do you think of the 2 episodes that you've seen?
I don't like it. It's a weird mix of live action, 8-bit animation, hand-drawn animation, computer animation.
No, I love it when they do that.
Jumps in between all of it. Yeah, I was just like, okay, this has got no fucking money. They've got no money to do this.
Well, from the looks of it, it sounds quite a lot to pay them how good they've done it.
I think they did this for free, dude. But do you know what's interesting that you say about it is I was like, because of watching it, one of the criticisms that I heard come up about the Batman was when they talked about the narration, someone was like, "Oh, that was the worst bit." I was like, "Why is that the worst bit?" He's like, "Because it's just like they just stole it from Rorschach in Watchmen." And I'm like, "Who is based on Batman and took that from Batman, you stupid motherfucker?" And then we were watching and then he was like, "But that Guardians of Justice, that's interesting." And so I was like, what the fuck?
What's the Justice League, you moron?
And this wasn't him, by the way. I was talking to either. It was someone else.
Now, I like that it is different, and you know, just as a setup, you know, for you guys, if you don't know what the show is, imagine the Justice League. So Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all of the
but from those favorites. Saturday morning cartoons that used to parody superheroes, and like Round the Bend.
Superman is so depressed that he shoots himself in the head with a kryptonite bullet.
And Asian.
And he's Asian. And then story go from there. And so, you know, imagine a world where they've had a Superman, then he's gone, Marvelous Man. And now that he's gone, the whole world falls into disarray.
You'll hate this, but me and him kept messaging each other. You have to call me Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, played by Diamond Dallas Page, is basically this universe's Batman.
We only watched it for all the wrestlers in it, didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. Like, as soon as he said, "Oh, it's Diamond Dallas Page," I'm like, I have to see this. So then I binged 5 episodes and. Right, I've already said to the guys and warned them, like, I don't want to dwell on it, but we obviously do understand that there is a massive thing going on in Ukraine and the Russian situation over there. Can't go into it too much because obviously we'll be here for like
How did you do that? How did you get those two?
Because in like the last 3 episodes of Guardians of Justice, which had just been fucking off the wall crazy with all of its animation and fucking Play-Doh, fucking head exploding shit, right?
I forgot about that bit.
It's gory.
It then could you have President Nukem, don't you?
Yeah.
President Nukem,
that's so funny.
the American president who just wants to bomb a place.
Give
me a place to bomb there, and he blows up the Taj Mahal.
It's matey from Stargate,
You've
right?
got a KKK.
I didn't recognise.
The main guy from the TV series.
I didn't watch Stargate. I'm sorry.
You've got this KKK fucking symbol, the fucking Sons of Anubis, who are planning on taking over the world. And at the same time, you've got the Russians
who reminded me of Cobra,
who are getting nervous and are wanting to drop the bomb. And I'm like, I'm watching this, I'm watching the news, I'm like, what the fuck? All I've got is
starting to cross.
Yeah, all I've got is DDP to save me, and like. I mean, you didn't mind about spoilers, but are you gonna finish it, or do you want me to spoil it for you?
I'll watch it eventually. Yeah.
Because
it's weird.
I
enough
hope
I
it ends
see.
with a group yoga session and it just chills everyone out.
It got.
It turns out it's just an advert for DDP yoga. That would be great.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It was fucking
weird.
weird.
Better than Welcome to Raccoon City.
Well, I mean, I've no doubt.
Fucking town. Welcome to Raccoon Town.
Oh, dude, I watched. The woman across the street from the lady in the window.
Oh yeah, I warned
Good job on remembering the title.
Fuck me, I don't think that's actually right, but fuck my life. So I watched this with my wife, with Donna, and it was like, it was that like, okay, we started watching it and we instantly knew like, okay, we're not enjoying this. But we had to see it through to the end to see what the fuck they were doing with it. Right. And luckily, and the only reason we could, it was 8 episodes and they were like 30 minutes. So we could just get through it.
From Frozen?
It's Kirsten from The Good Place.
Oh, really?
So I was like,
I haven't seen her since
I'll
then,
fucking watch this. Now, apparently, I didn't know this until 4 episodes in. I went and looked at the top rocker on Netflix and where they have the description and it says comedy. And I was like, when's that start? I don't want to spoil it because it's fairly new and you might want to watch it.
It's a Netflix movie, isn't it?
Apparently, it's a series. But yes, Netflix. And it's kind of like, I've been told, again, a couple of people who have watched it have really enjoyed it, and I didn't get it apparently, and they're like, it's satire. And I'm like, I'm going to need to Google satire because this fucking thing, there's like... There's the worst decisions ever made by any parent ever, especially made by a man who's got like advanced degrees in psychology.
Oh.
And this event happens to like their kid where you're like, oh my god, that's so fucking horrific and ridiculous. This must be like her interpretation of it, like she's blaming herself like it's a psychosis, and then another episode goes by and you're like, oh no, this is where they're going with it. Okay. The finish was so, and I'm not even going to give details because like fuck it, if I suffer for it, you guys can suffer for it and just watch it. But the finish of it was so bad that me and Donna, at the exact same time, it's like it does this thing, and it's like clearly set up for a new one. The character says her last line as it fades to black, and at the exact same moment, me and Donna just went "fuck off." Oh, like it's like it was that bad. There was one bit that really made me like that Donna said, because there's a point where there's like these really like sort of like out of nowhere sex scenes, you know, when they just put like these like you know, like you like watch some, God, they've been fucking for a while, like, you know, where they're like having sex on the stairs, they're naked on her stairs, like just going at it, and my wife was like, bullshit, you can't fuck for that long on stairs. And I looked at her and she's like, remember? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was uncomfortable, right?
So we're going to be avoiding that.
Oh man, yeah, that
title
was
is too long to actually say.
Yeah, we did. I did start playing Guardians of the Galaxy dropped on Games Pass.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that was an alright game actually. I'm not all the way through it, but
I've seen bits of it, and I was like, that's enough that I'd like to play.
Compared to Avengers, it's fucking genius. Yeah, man, it's got some really cool mechanics. I mean, it's essentially a third-person fucking shooter, you know, squad-based one where you only play as Star-Lord, which I ain't got a problem with, but a few people I wanted to play as all the Guardians.
But that would have been too much like Avengers.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But you do get to, like, you know, set squad, fucking Drax, do this, Gamora, do this and stuff. So it's got some nice upgrades and things. It looks great. Soundtrack is perfect. It's got dialogue options.
Do they have the voice cast from the movies?
No,
okay.
Okay. You know,
are they good? Are they replicating them, or are they doing their own thing?
No, they're just. This is another version of Guardians.
Okay,
it's the same
fine,
characters. Yeah. It's the same. You know, so Drax is like fuck Gamora and all that stuff. You know, but
so
it's, you'll recognise it all, but no, it's totally different voice. Okay. In fact, the only criticism I give is Star-Lord and Rocket's voices are actually quite similar. Okay. So at points where a couple of times I was like, who the fuck said that? Right? But you get dialogue options with Star-Lord where you might want to encourage them either way, and it will affect how the story's playing out. But it's got a couple of really good mechanics, apart from sort of like, you know, fucking, you know, ultimate fucking, you know, things that you can do in battle. But if you die, if the team gets dropped, you have a huddle.
Oh wow!
And so you see it POV from Star-Lord, yeah, right. And all the Guardians gather around you, and they'll start. We're not going to make it. We're going to die. And you have to look. Certain keywords will appear on the screen that they're saying, like there's no hope. There's no hope. You know. Yeah. And then you've got to pick the right dialogue option
to get a better rego.
Yeah, and like if you get the right one, that's you get them all fired up, and they come back with full fucking health and everything. And it's
that's a nice
bullet health
thing.
The first time you do it, you were like, awesome. In fact, AC/DC's playing in the background or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna play
He's
this.
sliding on his knees, slow-mo, fucking shooting the balls off of someone, you know. So yeah, it's one of those where you're playing like, this is great.
Nice.
I finished Miles Morales on the PS5, so I needed something else, and apparently I was just going to jump to
another superhero game.
Yeah, well, I was going to play Mass Effect 2 because I'd done the first one.
Yeah.
And that dropped. I was like, well, I've got to give it a go. And within 2 minutes, I was like,
this is what I'm playing now.
Fleetwood Mac came on. And I was like, I'm in.
What a choice. I mean, game-wise, you can't get me to play almost anything right now. Other than Elden Ring.
Yeah, no doubt.
Over 120 hours in my main character, and for the character I'm playing with on stream at the moment, I think I'm about 15-20 hours thereabouts with that character, and I know that Elden Ring is going to be a game I'm going to be playing for a large part of this year. And if any of the others, Dark Souls games or anything to go by, there will probably be a sizable DLC or additions to the game as well. But it's absolutely blown me away. Like, it's given me all of the visual vistas that I crave, which is cathedrals, castles, ruins, day and night cycle, weather cycles. It is absolutely lush. And of course it's the Dark Souls mechanics, but just perfected even more. Absolute top rate game. It's the best game I've played personally for me in a long time, so I'm absolutely adoring it right now, and anytime I get time, I just want to be playing Elden Ring. But in terms of TV shows, Star Trek Discovery, I think it's season 5. I've lost track of the numbers of the season.
Crazy.
But that Star Trek Discovery, it's like a wavelength. In terms of its quality, and it peaks and it drops, it peaks and it drops, and I thought it was going to keep dropping, but the last, towards the end of the season, it was really Star Trek-y, and I really enjoyed that. Star Trek Picard Season 2. Star Trek Picard was an absolute atrocity. It was a betrayal of Star Trek. It was a betrayal of the character Picard. Betrayal! It was absolutely horrible. It was my dad that got me into Star Trek. He's washed his hands of Star Trek. He won't go near any Star Trek anymore after Picard Season 1. That's how betrayed he felt, which is understandable. But Picard Season 2, oh man, they turned things around. I'm like, when the episode ended, I was like, next episode. When episode 2 ended, I was like, next episode, please. So I'm like, it's hooked. It's working. That's
really good, man. That's nice to hear. I think I watched a couple of episodes of Picard, and I just sort of I just fell out of it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, nothing fucking happened. And I was just like, ah.
I mean, I watched Red Letter Media, and they did a breakdown of the first episode, and Rich Evans made a prediction. And if that comes to true, then fuck Picard Season 2. Fuck it off the planet. If they do that, you're done. You're done.
You turn it off. I have a very stern email to write to Red Letter Media.
But also, I think one of the most impressive shows this year as well has been Euphoria Season 2. I've talked about it on a couple of podcasts and on a few live streams, but that show was so intense, and the first season didn't really get much limelight, but the second season has been in the news. It's been trending. It's brought up all of the debates about drug addiction, right? Whether the show's glorifying it or is, but it's very anti drugs, drug abuse and drug addiction. Beautifully acted. Yes, there's lots of nudity, and there's lots of violence, and there's lots of drug use, but there's the characters in there.
Attention.
Yes, they are all like hyper stylized versions of real people, but the drama that comes forward is absolutely I get emotional with every episode, and it's been absolutely great, and I can't wait to see more from this writing team, these actors, this show, and it's not normally a show that I would ever go to watch, but it's absolutely fantastic.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it at some point.
Nice.
That's Zendaya girl.
That's why it's got so much hype at the minute, because she's
good, but
she's in a lot right now.
She's like a female Sam Worthington to me at the moment. She just appears to be in everything, or they're trying to sell her in all these different.
Well, they are. She's a big name at the moment,
and she's doing well. But I can only take so
it's kind of like how Tom Holland is also, you know, he's had his Uncharted movie, and now the other week they were like, he's going to be in God of War series, and I was like, no, and I went, oh cool, what, they're going to have him as a Atreus, and they were like, no, Kratos. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
no, it's a Sony movie, right? It's going to be a fucking
Sony movie. Well, of course it's a Sony movie,
man,
but someone online was like, well, who would you cast as Kratos? I was like, Triple H in a heartbeat. Fuck it, have someone else do the voice, don't matter.
The fucking guy,
he doesn't even need to act.
Sons of Anarchy, fucking Opie, just stick a beard on him, shave his fucking head.
That could work. That could work. But yeah, it just made me laugh when they said about it, and I was like, oh yeah.
More Sony
I was like, man, Tom Holland is like, you know, the young Atreus, or even because of like God of War 2, where they're going to age him up a little bit. I'm like, fuck yeah, that would work. No, it's Kratos. Get the fuck out, like. And I like Tom Holland, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, no.
Alrighty, let's get into the news, shall we? Now, there's always.
Oh yeah, let's do this. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Always gotta get a star out.
But we always like to celebrate those celebrities or those in the media that have inspired us or brought characters to life that we've cherished and loved in that media.
In our defense, we don't actually aim to do this. It fucking happens.
Well, it's life, isn't it? So of course, so
it's because like, who fucking died this month?
Yeah,
it's bad, but it's true.
It's but we don't want to go down on it. We want to celebrate what they brought to the screen to us.
Oh yeah.
And so we're going to talk about the WWE two-time Hall of Famer Scott Hall, known as Razor Ramon, who passed away at the age of 63. His nickname became the Bad Guy, and his catchphrase was "Say hello to the bad guy," which was inspired by Al Pacino's Tony Montana Scarface. Scott left the WWF at the time in '96 and joined WCW, and he co-founded the NWO, the New World Order, with Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash. Scott was a WWF Intercontinental Champion 4 times, and he won the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship twice, and he was a 9-time WCW World Tag Team Champion.
Damn,
and when I got back into the WWF, he had already moved on to the WCW, and I didn't really follow that show, so I was only made aware when he came over, but I know you guys knew of him.
Man, it doesn't get any easier. I said to somebody in work who's a massive wrestling fan, and obviously when it was announced during the week, like, remember when Owen Hart died? It fucking hurt because it was like so sudden. With Scott Hall, we kind of knew a couple of days before, but it was just literally announced through Kevin Nash's Instagram, like, the family are going to be getting together and they're going to be switching off his machine. So it was like, oh, this is done. You know,
yeah, it's weird, man. You don't,
I have to get used
sounds funny, but we don't normally get a lot of notice when wrestlers die, do we?
That's it.
It's normally a shock. Yeah.
And then it happened, and I just, you know, like, I know I'm an old man, fucking almost 40, fucking talking about a wrestling, you know, guy that I fucking loved for a couple of years.
Back in our day.
Yeah. But as soon as he passed, I went back and watched his matches. And I'm just like, this is like watching, you know, like a rock singer or a fucking badass actor go out and do their thing. You know, he was there in the middle of Madison Square Gardens, you know, fucking surrounded by like 300,000 people, screaming his name, playing it. Like, the guy literally walked down the fucking aisle and flicked his hair, and everyone went, woo! Yeah. You know, he was a fucking... And then he'd go out and get fucking wasted with his buddies, and they drink and drive to the next town. And there was a part where, like, obviously he was gonna die. So then he got with DDP, and Diamond Dallas Page helped him with the yoga, and he started to get off the drink and the drugs, because obviously he'd been partying all his life. And so he lived for fucking 10, 15 years longer than he really should have.
Yeah, I mean, it was part of the Resurrection of Jake Snake documentary, wasn't it? It was Jake and Scott Hall who both went through it in DDP's crib and everything like that. Which, yeah, it was amazing as a fan to see. So I mean, I loved him when I was a kid as Razor Ramon. Obviously, I was like totally starry-eyed with him because he looked and he had such a good look. I mean, he's famed for being like the best wrestler that was never a world champion.
Yeah.
But also he didn't need it, you know. And I've said before, I absolutely loved watching what's called shoot interviews, you know, with wrestlers who talk about, you know, their real life experiences, and him and Kevin Nash do the best shoot interviews, man. And you know, he's always talked about, and again, yeah, the guy had his demons, and he pissed a bunch of people off at times and stuff, but then there's been such an outpouring of sort of support and wonderful stories about him, saying about what a selfless wrestler he was. I went back and watched matches with him, and I mean, I'd recommend to anyone. There's some classic matches. Everyone always jumps to Shawn Michaels and him in the ladder match at WrestleMania 10. Fuck yeah, watch that match. It's a great match. It's a great ladder match. But the one that always sticks out to me is from a random Raw show in '93, where it's Razor versus a jobber called the Kid.
Fucking Sean Waltman.
Who would go on to be X-Pac. And again, this is a tiny, fucking Scott Hall was a big dude. He's throwing the Kid around one side of the ring to the other, and the Kid, he's in the corner. Scott Hall runs in. The Kid gets out of the way, bang, hits himself in the turnbuckle. He's all like this, and the Kid goes up on the top, and he does a moonsault. This was '93. People didn't backflip off of the fucking top rope, and he pinned him in the middle of the ring. And obviously, it was this huge thing, and he ran out. And it set him on that career path, and that only comes about. No one at that size, that kind of guy at where he was in the card, would dare risk that to be pinned by a guy that size. But that's how selfless, and that's the fucking thought that he had for the future of the business, where he was like, those are the guys that are going to carry us into the next thing.
That's the crazy thing, because that was his heel Razor Ramon character, and then he'd go face Razor Ramon.
Yeah, and they tag together and stuff. They'd be carrying the clique.
Then he'd leave, and then he'd do the Monday Night Wars. He was basically there as the foundation for that. That's pretty much.
Dude, he got the whole industry paid. Him and Nash
until 2002. Every time these guys, oh man,
them jumping the WCW and getting those guaranteed contracts changed the way people got paid in the wrestling business, and got all the boys on guaranteed fucking contracts, which is incredible, so dude, I watched this fucking Hall of Fame speech. I was bawling like a baby.
I did.
It was amazing. But I did real quick as well that I love this fucking story. It cracks me up as well, because he was a fucking joker. So when he was in WCW and he was told he had to go into rehab because, again, he had a lot of problems with him. Yeah. And Eric Bischoff, who ran WCW, was not the best fucking manager of stuff like this.
He's supplying the...
Literally. So before he's about to go in, apparently he goes, and Eric Bischoff's told the same story as well, and so is Sting, the other guy in it, goes into the bar. Scott Hall's at one end of the bar. Sting is at the other end of the bar, another wrestler. And Bischoff is sat over here in a booth. And so Scott Hall tells the waitress, send Sting shots of Jack Daniels and give me shots of Diet Coke.
Oh no.
And so they're like, do it, and they're like going shot for shot. And he's like, Bischoff is over here. He's like, I can see him seething at me, just getting madder and madder. He's like, I'm supposed to be going into rehab the next day. And so afterwards he's like, fuck this, and goes walking up to him and stuff, and he starts, as they say, cutting a promo on him, shouting and yelling and stuff, as the waitress is bringing it over and over. It goes just staring at him and just casually goes, smell it. Just puts it in his face. It's like, it's Diet Coke, and he's just like, you're a fucking asshole. What's up? I was just like,
legend.
You're my hero.
Well, speaking of another legend, sadly, that passed away this last month, is actor William Hurt. Passed away at the age of 71. And he won the Oscar for Kiss of the Spider Woman. He was nominated many other times.
Man, what a film.
Yeah, he's a very intense and very skilled actor. He delivered memorable roles in films such as Altered States, Body Heat, The Big Chill, Dark City, and A History of Violence. He also made numerous appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as General Ross, with his first appearance in The Incredible Hulk.
Should have been Red Hulk. Just saying.
Yeah. And Hurt has once said that he never explains my movies, it just ruins the emotion. And he said, I love saying that line. There is no point to explaining what I do, but at some point you just have to do it. The work is the best that I have to offer, and that's what I want to be eloquent at. So very understated, and and an absolute legend who's just has a presence on screen, whether it's a big role or the main role.
That's a great way, because you've obviously labelled his greatest hits there, absolutely, but it's like, I really liked him in Michael. You know that movie where John Travolta played the fucking angel? He was great in that. He was a dick, but he was great. I know, I quite like that movie.
That's the thing, he had a lot of minor roles in films that were just really, really kind of memorable, like Dark City, and I'll never forget
strong hand,
Altered
isn't he? It's a strong hand to bring in.
I've only ever seen Altered States once, but what he goes through in that, I'm like, holy motherfucking shit, how did this guy never just go off and make you know, more. But I like William Hurt was always like a, I don't know, like a stage actor. You know, like he
had the strength of that. He
could carry a character across in front of a live audience and make you believe that, instead of, obviously, he didn't need all the special effects and, you know, crazy action to make his characters. But when he turned up as General Ross, like he really made me feel for Ross's care for
man. He elevated the material by his presence being in there. Just like you take it seriously.
And again, you're talking early. In the MCU wasn't the MCU yet,
it was not,
so that was a big get. And I don't think without actors like that willing to be like, I'll be in these comic book movies, fucking Scorsese, you know, but it's like, I'll do that. You don't get to Winter Soldier and have fucking Robert Redford saying Hail Hydra, you know, like a fucking, that's Robert Redford saying Robert a line Redford. From a comic book that's been around for like 60 years or whatever. So yeah, man, he's just one of those guys where you just sort of like, he hasn't really ever, he may have been in some dodgy movies, but he's never really turned in a bad performance.
Never.
No.
He's one of those. That's why, again, we'll celebrate him. Go and watch some of his movies.
Yeah.
Okay, next bit of news here. This is just basically quashing rumours that have been going around for a while, in my eyes anyway, and that is that Konami has let the web domain for Silent Hill expire. And it has now been acquired and purchased by a fan. This pretty much just in the eyes of anyone anticipating another Silent Hill game. The fact that Konami have just gone, we should renew the rights to keep the web domain for our
Can we make
property.
a Pinko machine out of it? No, fuck it.
Right? So for me, it's just a case of going, it really looks like there's not going to be another Silent Hill game anytime
Was the fan
soon.
called Hideo Kojima? In that case,
we don't. The thing is, the moment the web domain was purchased, it was a quote from. I think I can't remember. It's the guy who created Pinhead. There was basically a Pinhead, Pyramid Head.
I was going to say
put a quote on the top of the page. So basically, just changed a few things, and just nothing's changed, other than the Konami doesn't own it anymore, and they won't apparently. So
wait, they don't own the web page
of the official Silent Hill website,
but they still own.
They own Silent Hill, the property.
Well, I mean, they can still make a game.
Yeah, but they just won't. They'll have
be
to
able
make another web space.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's sorry.
But it just seems, it's just because everyone keeps going, is there going to be another Silent Hill game? There's probably going to be one, but that there just goes, it looks like Konami doesn't care.
No.
Or Konami forgot it exists.
Computer says no. What's a web page?
Dude, but that's the thing. Shit lapses, and sometimes people get it because they,
Well, in the live chat right now, apparently Konami just recently trademarked again Silent Hill. So let the rumours continue.
That's it, because that expired. They're like, oh shit, somebody's.
Yeah, do you know what? And that's another good point someone's just made there. It's like, I am shocked that they haven't at least jumped on the, well, fuck it, if you're going to remake Resident Evil, I'm just going to remake Silent Hill as well. It's a really good point. Although, again, you say that, it's like a no-brainer. I'm like, where's my Dino Crisis remake?
Well, Capcom are teasing the hell out of people this year.
They've been teasing me for like the last 15 years with that shit.
Yeah. I always
don't remake the third one.
Jurassic Park's a big thing again. Like, dinosaurs.
Let's
should
shoot
be a big thing
dinosaurs.
again.
Come on.
But do you know what Sony should make? They should make a Dino Crisis movie.
I mean, why not?
Next in the news of horror franchises that run out of ideas, where do they go next?
In
Space!
Oh, you need to cut Tim Curry in.
Yes. The Amityville horror franchise that has been going from 1979 all the way up until now this year. There are only officially 10 movies in the actual saga of the Amityville house, but there are actually 40 plus movies with Amityville in the title, including Zombies in the House with Amityville Uprising, Werewolves in the Amityville House.
I thought you meant
Amityville
Zombies
Moon.
in the House was the actual subtitle, like Zombies in the House, like that.
Zombies in the Amityville. No, I mean, yes, there has even been sharks in the Amityville house.
What?
Yes, there have been.
How have we not seen this?
I don't know. Why don't I have it on DVD?
This feels like something you'll make us watch as a trailer at some point. Like,
but now, the Amityville house is in space in the year 3015, outside a black hole, and it starts a galactic battle of good versus evil. Now, this is incredibly super low budget, very amateur. but it could be fun, and it's out this summer.
This is what happens when fans purchase websites.
It is.
Silent Hill in space.
It is so ridiculous that it just had to be commented
You
upon.
showed me the poster earlier. I was like, "That's funny. What fan made that?" He's like, "No, that's the real movie." I was like, "What? That's happening."
Yes.
Truly, we are.
The trailer is out on YouTube. You can now watch the trailer for Amityville in Space, and you will see how low budget. I mean, this is lower budget than a Troma movie. I hope the sharks in the basement are still there when they go in space. As well. The zombies and the werewolves. And, well, there was a demon originally, wasn't it? Okay, next bit of news here is the Walking Dead. It's coming to its end, but there are numerous spin-offs and shows trying to keep AMC afloat, I guess, because it was their flagship show for a while.
Yeah.
But another spin-off from AMC that sees The Walking Dead now in New York City. And that gets me excited because we only got the city, really, in the first season of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's Atlanta, wasn't it?
In Atlanta, yeah. They did go back there, and there was a cityscape in
there was
season
a tank.
5.
It was awesome.
Yes, and so now, spoilers. I'm not going to go into any spoilers because they've already announced some cast members from The Walking Dead that will be in it. So I'm not going to mention who they are because I ruined that for myself. I'm like, well, in that case, they survived this show.
You know what? Yeah, that's funny because I haven't watched it to the end.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say
like,
who they are. So be careful because the news is out there. It's only going to be 6 episodes long, so about 6 hours of a show. And the tag for it is that Isle of the Dead will see these characters we know traveling into a post-apocalyptic Manhattan long cut off from the mainland. It's going to be a crumbling city filled with the dead and denizens who have made New York City their own world, full of anarchy, danger, beauty and terror. And it's due out next year, 2023. Yeah.
And they've got 24 hours to get the president out. Right. Or the virus will kill him.
Kill him. Guy with an eye patch running around, machine gun.
Well, speaking of zombies still, Wormwood Apocalypse will be arriving straight to DVD and Blu-ray on May 12th this year. It's a sequel to Wormwood, Road of the Dead from 2014, which we did review, a while back. And it's an Australian zombie comedy horror with lots of splatter, gore, and very, very bizarre characters. The sequel for this one explains that it's going to be following a soldier in a zombie-infested Australian wasteland who has dedicated his life to tracking and capturing survivors for the Surgeon General in hopes of finding a cure.
It's gonna be so low budget and shit, but every now and then...
Gonna buy it on DVD, ain't you?
No, I'm not gonna buy that.
It's only available on DVD. You can't see this one in theaters.
Not gonna buy that on DVD. I will seek a...
He's a nice piece of shit.
Not that again, Iain.
No, the next film we'll be buying will be the Batman. Yeah.
Meg 2, it's officially happening. They've actually got, they're in production now. Meg 2 The Trench. It's going to be
released. The shark punches him back this time.
Next summer, August 4th is the date right now. And yes, Jason Statham will be back as Jonas Taylor, the only man who has punched a megalodon in the face and lived. The sequel will also star Cliff Curtis and Sienna Gilroy, who you might remember from the Resident Evil movies.
Oh wait, which girl?
The one who played Jill Valentine.
I love her. Yeah, I love Cliff Curtis. Yeah,
this one's going to be directed by Ben Wheatley, who you might remember as the director for Kill List or Sightseers.
Nice.
So it should have that air of fun to it and style to it.
Man, if it's if fucking Ben Wheatley sticks to it, it's going to be dark.
Meg made a ton of money in the cinemas.
I saw it in the cinema.
Now I can only hope that we get more Megs and more carnage.
Dog Bit is so bullshit. Yes, the film is so fucking bullshit, and I watched it in the cinema and bought it on DVD, and I haven't watched it since.
The Dog Bit is I'm like, eat that fucking kid and teach that shit parent a lesson.
Jaws 2
that's the terrible person I am.
Fucking Meg is so bad. That's why I love Jaws 2. Jaws 2 is amazing.
Halloween ends. Halloween, does it end? Will it end? Will this be the last?
Halloween ends tonight.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
They have reported that they have wrapped and that the film will be in theaters this October. David Gordon Green has recently said that there will be a 4-year time jump. So it's not going to be the next day again.
What?
A 4-year time jump.
Wait,
between... It's going to be in space, isn't it? It's going to be in space.
So he fucking kills Laurie's daughter in the house and does what for 4 years? appears? Does he just go and sit in that blind man's hut like he did in fucking Halloween 5?
Yeah, maybe.
I
don't know. Maybe he's trying to find them the whole time.
They take his mask off him again. He has to go find it in the middle of the road.
They've said that this new film is going to be more intimate and more self-contained than the sprawling Halloween Kills.
So bad. It's gonna be so bad. Like Halloween Kills was bad, but at least he killed people. This is gonna be intimate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be him and Laurie in a fucking house for 2 hours, just following each other around.
Sounds better than Halloween Kills, though.
He's locked himself in a house and he's made traps for her. She's fucking.
So we're gonna see this in cinema.
I'm gonna buy it on DVD.
Well, yeah, I'm going to go to cinema. We have to.
We've done the first. Fuck it, we got to see this through.
I need to see Evil die that night.
I'm still going to buy on DVD, yeah.
Speaking of evil, the WWE Evil, a documentary series on Peacock, will be spotlighting the most evil villains in the whole of the WWE.
For a minute.
Okay.
8 episodes.
Fucking hell.
Spotlighting Hollywood Hogan, The Miz, Sasha Banks, The Brothers of Destruction, Randy Orton, Stephanie McMahon, Ric Flair, and Roman Reigns. WWE Evil is apparently going to be exposing new details from the characters who defined a generation of WWE, including each villain's history, their key rivalries, and career-defining moments.
Sasha Banks?
Well,
when you put WWE Evil in a documentary on Peacock, for a minute I was like, well, no, I was more thinking like, is it an expose or something? And then you were like, Peacock, there's deals on fucking Peacock.
It's not expose, is it?
Well, yeah, because it's Peacock. That's what confused me.
Family orientated. But I was thinking like fucking, like Papa Shango, fucking Paul Bearer,
most evil villains.
I'm guessing these are the most modern ones.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah, but Brothers of Destruction were never villains.
Well, they were. They were always.
No, they weren't. No, not when they were together. They weren't fucking villains back.
Well, neither was Sasha Banks. But you can see what they're doing. Oh, they went bad once, and people booed them.
Hey, if it's on the network, I'll watch it because I fucking paid for it.
Yeah. For sure, but it looked interesting. The promotional stuff for the series makes it look interesting, and interviews with these characters, the behind the scenes, the feuds. It's promo material.
Stephanie McMahon, though, fucking hell.
What? Is she in the list? Is she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that girl is evil.
She's a pain in the ass.
Evil to my pants.
Evil to my pants.
Let's quantum leap right out of here into the next story. Another reboot. Well, we knew this was coming. We knew it was coming, but now they have cast their principal cast for the Quantum Leap reboot, which includes Raymond Lee, Ernie Hudson, and Mason Alexander Park. Raymond Lee will be playing a world-renowned physicist and a man of faith who is also working on Quantum Leap, a time travel project. But when he uses the project on himself, he's transported back to the late 80s, and he's struck with amnesia.
Oh man, are we that old?
That's what I was thinking.
That old
now the 80s is so that's as far back as they could possibly go.
Oh man,
we are in a bubble of nostalgia. That's why Stranger Things, it's the 80s.
Fuck nostalgia. Shit. You want to go back in time? Go properly fucking back in time and shit. The 1980s was...
True, you're right. I had the same. As soon as I saw late 80s, I was like, oh no.
Well, they have announced that this is not a reboot. It's a soft reboot.
So it's a reboot.
So they've explained that this guy is actually going to be picking up the technology of what was left after Scott Bakula's Sam Beckett used the machine, and Ernie Hudson's going to be the one running the facility in the present.
Oh, so Ernie Hudson's the new Al?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. When I saw his name, I was like, please let Ernie Hudson be Al.
That was the casting that got me excited. Was seeing Ernie Hudson. I was like, yes.
Wait, who's playing? Who's jumping back through time?
I believe it's Raymond Lee is going to be the one travelling back. Yeah.
Nice to get a new freshness, and they can bring Scott Bakula in like holographic mode to warn him and stuff.
Well, they've not let anybody know whether Scott Bakula's going to be in it or not.
Well,
they're going to keep that under wraps.
Sam Beckett stopped. He stayed in that fucking conjunction.
He never got home.
Made it.
That was how the show ended. He didn't get home.
So having fucking Stan Lee in every episode. He's just randomly in every episode for no reason. Like it's never explained until the last episode.
Evil guy. He's actually gone mad and he's trying to kill the new Scott Bakula or Sam Beckett so that he can get Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
No.
Oh, dude, do you remember when they brought the evil leapers in from the other universe into Quantum Leap? The original spoilers.
Yeah.
But fuck.
Yeah,
wasn't that Sliders?
No. Quantum Leap.
Season 5, there were evil leapers coming back.
Yeah.
I love me some Quantum Leap. I'm all fine.
I need the box set. I need that motherfucking box. Christmas come out. I need the box set.
Fuck you. Not your wife.
Here's an update on the Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise. According to the filmmakers, the visual editing is now complete. It's now just sound effects and music score to go. They've said that they have been editing the movie for 6 months, ready to release the Deadites into theaters later this year. The synopsis that they've released for the film explains that in the 5th Evil Dead film, a road-weary Beth pays an overdue visit to her older sister Ellie, who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped LA apartment.
Oh no.
The sisters' reunion is cut short.
So it's called Rise because
it's in a rise, a high rise.
Oh.
Yeah, we've had it in a cabin, we've had it in a town. Now we've got it in a skyscraper.
It's demons in the skyscraper.
And of course they find the Necronomicon. Somebody says the wrong words.
Where?
It was under the sofa.
What's this? Oh, it's my book covered in flesh, so bound in human flesh.
It's a special edition DVD. Someone fucked up.
But they seem to be going with a family dynamic, and they said that
I hope the kids
they're going to be faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable.
I hope the mother eats the kids.
It's Evil Dead. We're going to see something nasty.
Hopefully, because from the sounds of it, she's going to save the fucking kids.
Sam Raimi, Rob Tapper, and Bruce Campbell have all co-produced the movie, and according to Campbell, they've been very involved in the project every step of the way.
The kids are getting eaten. The kids are fucking dead.
This is a movie or a series?
A movie. It is a movie, yeah.
The kids are so dead.
It's like, because I was like, I can put up with that plot for 90 minutes. Yeah.
It's another Evil Dead movie.
I'm going to watch it.
I bet the mum gets possessed at one point, and what did you say? She's got 2 kids? 3 kids?
3 kids, yeah. And her sister.
Right, so I bet the mum eats one of the kids at one point, and her sister has to chainsaw her up, and then they're racing out. They're getting the 2 kids. Then one of the kids gets eaten by a monster, so she's got the last kid left. And then when they get to the end, it's going to be all like demons. And you remember at the end of Demons, where they jump on the back of the jeep to escape because the Deadites got out of the city? That will scare everybody. Like, oh my god, they actually got out, and things are starting going all fucked up. And the little kid will be like, it's opening up. I hope we still get more Evil Dead films after this as well. Keep making.
Well, I saw Sam Raimi said something about because obviously he's doing Doctor Strange 2, right?
Yes,
and that's going to be out soon. And he apparently said a thing sort of like, I'd really like to have a crack at Batman. And I was like, Bruce Campbell plays Batman. Oh my god!
No, Alfred.
No, Bruce mate. Campbell, old Batman, and do Batman Beyond and have him mentor. Fucking Terry, yes, bitch. That's what we need.
Universe, make it happen.
Come on, Bucket, you coward.
We were talking. What do you think's going to be Bruce Campbell's spot in Doctor Strange? We think Ash
cabin, Necronomicon.
I was
Strange
going to
needs
say,
the Necronomicon.
That's what I do think he just plays it. Well, I mean, there's an ownership thing, I guess. Do Disney own it? I assume.
Own Evil Dead?
Yeah,
no,
maybe.
They do because they own Fox, and Fox owns Universal.
Did Raimi check the fine print when he signed on? But
Universal only owns Army of Darkness.
Right. Who owns the other 2?
I don't know. Stars were the ones that make the latest show.
Do you know who he plays in it? Just another version of Doctor Strange.
Hair,
grey hair back. It's just like, who are you? I'm you. Just something like that. Or fuck it, have him as all 3 of his characters from the Raimi Spider-Man verse at some point. The Mater D as the wrestling announcer. Just fuck it. You just. Bucket universe.
Let's get into some quick-fire news to wrap up this segment of the podcast.
Yep.
Did you know that there is an Alien TV series in the
You've
works?
not mentioned it, Gary.
Is there? Okay.
It's going to be set in the near future. It was going to be set, in the very near future, way before the Ellen Ripley storyline. Have I said this before? No, there's actually new Aliens news. Fede Alvarez, talking of the Evil Dead, he directed the reboot Evil Dead movie, will now be directing new Alien movie.
He made Welcome to Raccoon City.
No, he didn't. No.
The reboot Resident Evil.
He did the reboot Evil Dead.
Oh, the Evil Dead. Sorry.
Yeah. And
hear your panic.
Apparently, he submitted a script to Ridley Scott a while ago, and Ridley Scott went no.
He says that.
Fucking hell, that speaks volumes.
He says that a lot. Really,
I know. It's because he's like,
he made Prometheus and Covenant. So,
it's mine, and I'm going to make Alien, not nobody else. But apparently, the powers that be have said, no, Ridley, this is happening now. So Ridley went, oh, okay, he has my blessing, because this new Alien film is not going to have any connection to the Alien series of movies as we know with Ellen Ripley, nor is it going to have anything to do with the new series that's being made.
So is it really an Aliens TV series then?
No, there's an Aliens TV series being made, and now there is another Alien movie being made separate.
Yeah.
But because it's being made by Fede Alvarez, that tells me it's going to be nasty and it's going to be gory.
I've had 10 years of like Fox and Marvel. This is still making my fucking head hurt. You think I'd be used to this by now?
It's just going to be gory. People are going to die at the Alien. It'll be nice.
Someone's like, if Ridley Scott said no, it should be decent. Fair comment, mate.
Hopefully.
Fair comment.
Deep Water, starring Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, just released, and it's directed by Adrian Lyne, and it's his first movie in just under 20 years.
I've been seeing this everywhere. Every fucking thing that I play, I've seen the advert
Jacob's
for this.
Ladder director,
I'm
disappeared. So, and the film has just come out. So, I can't wait to see it. I like Ben Affleck. I think he's a great actor. And of course, Adrian Lyne. I need to see this film.
Totally. What's it called?
It's called Deep Water, and it's basically about a marriage. Where the marriage is falling apart, and so she's sleeping around, and the only way he can keep the marriage going is to just go, okay. That's the premise of the film, essentially. So it's going to be about relationships and etc. But it's probably going to be a tough watch, I imagine.
Okay.
He's on Wiki now. He's on the third act.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer
it's shit.
celebrates 25 years, and it will air on television on the channel Fuse for the first time, with Buffy being actually aired on television for the first time in a long time. Fuse is an American television channel which actually launched in 1994. Buffy will be available on certain streaming sites, but it's not been on broadcast television for some time, and it will be available this October, so yay Buffy.
Okay.
Hell yeah, man.
That Ben Affleck movie was weird.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. The Dead Space video game remake has sadly been pushed back to 2023. The developers of the game have explained that they want to make sure that it's at an award-winning level, and they want to take the right time to get the audio design just right. They said that they're still remaining faithful to the iconic atmosphere of the original game. But this includes the work that they're doing is audio occlusion, and the way that the audio bounces off different materials and surfaces, rooms and corridors, so that voices echo, and give you the effect of the plasma cutter, and depending on which environments you're in, what sort of sounds it makes. So they are really overhauling the sound design of that game.
Get your fucking headphones on for that one.
Absolutely. So I'm just like, you know what, could be something really special. And as a survival horror video game fan, Dead Space 1 is a masterpiece, and I'm hoping for this modern remake of it that they deliver once again.
Fuck yeah, dude. Do you not like Dead Space?
No, sorry, I just had this really strange thought, right? So like, Dead Space has been around for what, fucking 10 years?
Longer now.
Longer now, right?
Years,
so we're 40-year-olds, right? So at some point in the future, we're going to be sat there playing video games. Sound quality is going to be really great, but we're going to be in our 60s and 70s.
What?
And our bowels are not going to work as well, so we're going to be in the old people's home. They're like, right, we need to get Gary to stop playing those video games. Why? Because he shit himself again.
It's like, why? It's like, because they invented the brown note 10 years ago.
She's like that goddamn Dead Space trilogy.
Yeah, remake 1 and 2, and well, that's all we have to say about that.
There was no third game. Make us whole again. Deadpool 3, it signs Sean Levy as a director. Now, Sean Levy recently directed Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy and The Adam Project. And so it seems like they like to collaborate with each other.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
And this will probably break the mold of Sean Levy as a PG-13 film director. Obviously, no news on what phase of the Marvel Universe it will fit, if at all. But it's just good to know that Deadpool 3 will actually be going ahead.
Yeah, man, we just rewatched both of them the other day, me and Donna, and I was like, they're fucking
they're
great.
fun.
These are just great.
Yep. Indiana Jones 5 is wrapped. after delays and directors swapping out and people going, I disown this. It's expected to arrive in cinemas on the 20th of June 2023.
I'm going to buy it on DVD.
I'm
not gonna fucking see that in the cinema.
That says everything.
I'm not seeing that shit in the cinema.
Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder tease yet again. Beetlejuice 2 could start filming this year.
Could.
Brad Pitt's production company Plan B has acquired the rights, and they are going to be helming this film.
It's called Plan B.
That's
fucked up.
Plan Brad, activate.
No, it's a morning after pill, isn't it? Plan B.
I didn't make that connection.
You haven't had as many close calls as me.
Now, apparently, they've been talking about who else will be involved, and it seems like because it looks like this production's going to go ahead soon. Alec Baldwin is out right now, as he is incredibly tied up with legal disputes and everything else about what happened on the set of Rust. But rumours are that Gina Davis will actually be making an appearance in Beetlejuice 2 as well, along with Winona and Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Winona will be a mum with her children in a house, and the children will find the book and accidentally bring forth Beetlejuice into the real world. We won't find anything about their parents, but it'll turn out that their grandfather was probably involved in some cult, and the grandkid is actually based off of him genetically. We're not even going to question that one. And then she'll work it all out, but in fact that she'll become friends with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice will have a kid. He probably have knocked up some other thing, so he's got some kind of kid.
Hey, if they wait long enough as well, like maybe they can put Alec Baldwin in post as a ghost.
Yeah, well, they can't bring in the dad from the original one because he's a pedophile.
Well, yeah.
Wait, which? Who?
Fucking Ferris Bueller's fucking headmaster.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Very.
Another good reason not to watch Howard the Duck.
Yeah. The Dark Overlord of the universe.
I am the Dark Overlord.
That will just keep adding up nicely.
Pam and Tommy series seem to have sparked a renewed interest in Pamela Anderson. And so Netflix are now producing her life story in a documentary along with Pamela Anderson herself.
Her
the Baywatch
life
star.
Story.
Well, she's now being
in the
able
public
to tell
eye again, though. That's the
exactly.
difference. Dude, she's got a fucking Broadway show at the minute.
Exactly,
as well.
yeah.
So
don't get me wrong. I love Pamela Anderson. I always have loved Pamela Anderson. I think I will always love
minutes
Pamela
at a
Anderson. Yeah, for 3.5, maybe 4 minutes if I'm pushing it, edging it if I want to.
Edging it.
You know, I owned Barbed Wire on VHS. Don't fucking talk to me.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
You're a nice piece of shit.
You know, but like. You know, did she ever really need to leave the public eye?
In an alternative universe, you are literally in a padded cell, smearing shit on the walls, going, "Bought another DVD."
In a sale. It was in a sale.
You're that episode of Buffy where we're like, which is real?
Samuel L. Jackson has been nagging the Star Wars creators to revive his character, and specifically asking Bryce Dallas Howard literally to put in a good word for him as he wishes to play Mace Windu once again. Now, it seems very unlikely, and for the most part, I have to say, Star Wars, please, stop reviving dead characters. It's not going to work anymore. Okay, you've done it too many times now.
Yeah, but it's what it does to the fan base. I quite enjoy what's going on, you know?
Just tease that little nugget to the Star Wars fan base. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is great. I love Samuel L. Jackson, but please,
they'll just do an Obi-Wan with him. It'll be him sat on some fucking island somewhere revisiting things that happened to him in the past.
This is what the Obi-Wan show is going to be about, isn't it? Is the Inquisitors going out and Vader going out and killing all the Jedi that escaped.
But Obi-Wan is bridging it from the end of the third movie to New Hope.
So we know that Mace is definitely dead by then.
Yeah, Mace Windu would have to be set before that. And
they just Captain Marvel de-age him.
Well, no, Samuel Jackson's too old to actually do what Obi-Wan's doing, so it would be better off to have him as an older guy.
Well, it's the same amount of years passed for both actors from both the same movie. So.
No, because Obi-Wan is on Tatooine and Mace Windu is dead. So Mace Windu, his story would have to be set before he dies. But he's older now.
Well, no, they're not talking about prequeling. They're talking about him actually not being dead and still being in
They're talking about retconning his death.
Yeah, so he didn't die when he got thrown out. I mean, look, Palpatine died of far worse death, right?
To be fair, Samuel L. Jackson is talking about them retconning
Yes,
his death.
yeah,
At this point, they've been like, no, dude.
I could take him coming back as a Force ghost, and I wouldn't mind.
Would you like a Nick Fury series?
I wouldn't mind him fucking sitting there and having flashbacks to his fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days of being a young fucking Jedi running around, somebody else playing him. But no, do not retcon his death. I've just gotten over the fucking midichlorian shit. I'm not fucking starting all over again.
That was 22 years ago, Iain.
I don't give a fuck, man. Fucking Death Star, fucking Star Destroyers were flying out of a fucking planet in the last Star Wars movie that I've watched, and I'm still not going over fucking Han Solo.
Well, that's going to bring us to
Solo
the
did
end
suck.
of part 1 of the podcast. We're going to take a very quick break, and then we will be coming back with our interview with Lloyd Kaufman. Don't go anywhere. It is on.
Okay.
Can you hear us now, Lloyd?
Yes. Beautiful music. That's wonderful music.
Yes.
Really good to see you, Lloyd. Big fans over here in the UK.
Oh, wow. I can't believe I'm talking to Lloyd Kaufman, Mr. fucking Tromaville, Mr. Toxic Avenger.
Where are you, gentlemen?
We're in the southwest of the UK at the moment in a little place called Plymouth.
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 Oh, Plymouth. Famous. Very famous.
Yeah, very famous. But not quite as famous as Tromaville.
Yeah.
Oh, not even the car, the Plymouth car is that famous.
True. Yes, very true.
This is very uncomfortable.
In-N-Out Burgers.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I love your backdrop, Lloyd. That is just...
Well, thank you very much for being interested in trauma entertainment.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Lloyd. You've entertained us since I can remember film.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, thank you.
One of my fondest memories when I was a kid was finding the Toxic Avenger series on a very late night TV channel, which I just kind of went through a whole festival of all the trauma movies, and people were like, "What are you watching at the moment?" And I'm like, I've just finished off the Toxic Avenger series. I'm just hitting Sergeant Kabuki Man, and when we got
been a long time ago, right, gentlemen?
Well, yeah, it's at least 25 years for me when I watched on TV. But when we got the message for you to ask us if we wanted to watch your newest production, oh wow!
Thank you.
I only just recently watched Shakespeare's Shitstorm just yesterday, and I was really, really impressed with it. It was at a time when I had discovered trauma and independent movie making. Your films were always there. I put you with Peter Jackson, with Bad Taste and Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles. There was trauma as well, and you've been going for I think 50 years, Lloyd, in the
That
movie
is correct.
industry.
50 years,
and trauma is about 48 years, 49 years almost, which
almost
is just
50. You're right, 49.
Trailblazing through the independent film market and non-stop. How do you still have the energy to keep making films, Lloyd?
Well, we are fan fueled. You are fans, and it's thanks to you guys and ladies. Recently, a lot more women are watching our movies, so that helps. And basically, we look much bigger than we are. Just our fans do a lot of the work. The hashtag Shakespeare's Shitstorm, written by a fan, with Shakespeare. And the DP was Denmark. The main cameraman was from Hollywood. All fans working for much less than they would get on a professional movie or a commercial, an advert.
Yeah,
they get a lot of money, but with us, they get very little money, but they get a chance to learn and take some risks. And it looks good too, doesn't it? This particular movie.
It really does. It's well lit, well edited, well put together. How did you come across the script for Shakespeare Shitstorm, and how did you decide I'm going to direct that one?
Well, The Tempest is my favorite Shakespeare movie, and it's about an old man who's losing power.
Yeah.
And it has magic and a monster and a lot of drug and stuff. So I would have done it when we did Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really get. Now that I'm practically dead, the Prospero, I get it. I really do get it, and I think it shows in the movie. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Like I myself, I wasn't too sure how trauma and Shakespeare would work together. Like Romeo and Juliet, back in the day, that was controversial for its time. So I'm thinking,
yes,
how is Lloyd
Kaufman not well received? Not well received, except in your country. We were British Film Institute did a big thing with it, and played in MGM London, the MGM Theater, and something square there near the Groucho Club, and but initially in America it was very poorly accepted.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you was, like, when you're getting ready to do Shakespeare's Shitstorm, and we're talking 2021, we're releasing it 2022. How did it feel writing, the script and getting this story ready, knowing what you'd already gone through with Toxic Avenger and Romeo and Juliet, how the audiences would react to it?
Good question. I just wanted to do it. I didn't really think too much about the results. But Gabe Friedman, with whom he wrote Poultrygeist.
Yeah.
And the singing and dancing. In fact, I'm wearing the fast food. I had this fast food on, but this is much better food.
Out much more.
No meat.
Yeah, one of the things, a lot of things that people have said, a lot of them always say that your films are controversial. What does that word even mean to you after 50 years of making these films?
Well, I think the first thing is entertainment. If you don't entertain people, you may as well stop. Just look at the last few Oscar films, and I'm sure you guys have seen it many times. The Power of the Dog. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
I've not watched it. It's the new Benedict Cumberbatch film.
Benedict Cumberbatch movie. Yeah.
To me, a cummerbund is a thing you wear around your waist with a tuxedo. Most young Americans, I don't think, would know what a cummerbund is, but you got it. You got the wordplay. You have read The Bard. Obviously, you are educated young men.
Well, we gotta stay on top of everything, and there's so many different movies and this was the thing with sitting down to watch Shakespeare's Shitstorm. I knew I was watching a Tromaville movie, so I watched it like a week ago in preparation for this. I watched it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I just dropped my family off to a school, and I've come home and I'm like, I've got a cup of tea. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch Shakespeare's Shitstorm. And obviously we can't spoil the film for anybody who's listening, obviously, if we put this up. But, oh my Lord, Lloyd, I know it's in the trailer, so I'm just going to say it. How does one think up killer whales shitting on people?
Well, that is a very good question. And now that you've spoiled the entire film and nobody's going to buy a ticket. It opens in New York, by the way, April 8th at the Museum of the Moving Image. Only one night, but it's going to be a big deal, very big honor. And then for a week at the best Greenwich Village art house called the Cinema Village, oddly enough.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens. We're going to advertise a little bit and...
I was going to say, because the film was listed as being finished in 2020 and it's now 2022. What's caused the delay? Is it a distribution or a change from physical media to streaming?
Well, no, the idea was there's something called COVID. I don't know if you had it, but theaters were closed. We got the movie finished just before COVID, but unless we want to play in an empty theater, actually, Mutant Blast played in L.A. Mutant Blast, which you ought to see also.
Yeah.
Fernando Ale directed it. He worked on Return to Nukem High, Volume 1 and 2. He did a great job. But that opened in L.A. the day that they closed the city. And we barely got out of town. And the guy came in from Portugal to Michael, do you want to go? Oh, okay. The guy, the director, star, producer Came in from Portugal, and they almost got trapped in Los Angeles we all of us. I couldn't. We would have had to. I don't know. We would have lived on the streets.
Yeah.
200 pounds a night. I don't know what people do. But anyway, we got out.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. But how has COVID and suspended production? How has it affected you and Troma?
We stopped shooting. Safety to humans. That's our number one rule.
Yeah,
excellent to hear.
Safety to humans, safety to people's property, and then much smaller font, make a good movie. And we did. I produced Brandon, the guy who wrote Shakespeare Shitstorm, along with Gabe Friedman and Shakespeare, and me a little bit. He's a great talent, and he just produced his latest film, which opened in LA during the pandemic when there was a little bit of breathing room, and it's playing a few theaters. If you have a theater in London or in Plymouth, we'd be happy to play it.
Yeah,
also,
excellent.
If you have a theater in Plymouth, I'll come over there for the
screening.
God, that would be amazing.
Are there any theaters?
Yes, there are. There's a few, but there's also some independently run ones, but I don't know if they've managed to survive.
Yeah.
Well, again, keep it in your mind, because I think there are a couple of theaters in London that'll play, and then maybe one in Birmingham. Is it Birmingham? The industrial city.
Yeah.
And then maybe you guys, and we'll come there and
do a tour around.
Yeah. Drive around and forget that we're that we're supposed to drive on the,
on the other side.
Have a head-on collision with a lorry, and then that'll solve everything, right?
Absolutely.
Now, you guys will have the exclusive.
I don't want to bring the tone of the interview down, even though we're talking Troma, but I do want to bring up Miranda, the actress, obviously playing Prospero's daughter in the movie.
Hold on, I'm putting on earphones because there's some meetings going on here.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Played by Kate McGarrigle, I believe.
By the way, these are compliments of Delta Airlines. People at Delta Airlines.
Yeah. So Prospero's daughter, Miranda, I've got to say, wow, what an actress.
Isn't she great?
She
was a comedian.
She was
terrific.
Amazing. Like obviously no spoilers, but there is just some things that the actors and actresses do in this movie that are just so kind of natural and comfortable. Like the actress who played Ariel, her song about, just smoking crack.
That.
You wrote that song.
Beautiful romantic song. I wrote the words. The tune was provided by the classical composer. Which Sands, I think. I think it's the same guy who wrote Samson. By the way, the orchestral theme, the orchestral score is based on Samson and Delilah. And I think the song that Ariel sings is not from the opera, but I think it may be the same composer. I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, it's classical music, the miracle of public domain. And,
absolutely.
If you, there are lots of cartoons that use that tune.
That music,
It's like basically a children's cartoon song.
When she started
as far
singing,
as I know, and. She's great, right?
Yeah,
she was fantastic. She really sold the blindness as well. She really sold it. It really worked.
Yes, Kate, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, Kate. Great. I mean, all Kate.
Amanda Flowers played Ariel.
Beloved and Ariel. I agree. It was really good. Devoted cast. It took us about 5 or 6 weeks to film this. It took 5 or 6 weeks, so it's not like, Roger Corman, who directed Little Shop of Horror in 2 days. Takes us forever, and we don't make money. He does it in 10 minutes, and he makes shitloads of money.
Where do you find your cast, Lloyd?
He's a good guy. He's the best. He and his wife, my daughters, are working on a generational documentary about trauma and me and my wife and all that.
Yeah.
And Corman and his wife are the executive producers. someday there will be a very detailed. It might be a series, but my daughters have been working on it for at least 10 years.
Well, you're a legend.
So someday there will be some kind of a record, a documentary.
Yeah.
That will be exclusive on Troma Now.
That's
hot
awesome.
New streaming channel.
That I was about to bring up Troma Now, because obviously media has changed from home video, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now primarily digital. And so what is Troma Now?
Well, Troma Now is a platform that shows about 1,000 movies, also music videos, short films, my make your own damn movie filmmaking lessons. It's a great portage of entertainment. Some very deep, some for kids, some full of sex and violence, but or exclusive. Where else can you see an anti-fast food musical with chicken Indian zombies who are dancing and singing?
Exactly.
It really is
Where else
amazing
can you
to
see
have
my
them all in one
balls
place.
except in Poultrygeist? You can actually see my balls, apparently. Yeah, certainly if you go to the behind the scenes.
See, that's what I'm interested in.
Do you guys make movies?
I was an aspiring filmmaker, but it's really, really difficult.
Horrible. It's awful. But if you have any interest in this craft, check out Poultry in Motion. Truth is Stranger Than Chicken.
It's a feature-length documentary, isn't it? Yes.
It's worth more than a year of $80,000 of film school. Really,
yeah.
It's a wonderful and hilarious. It's sad and hilarious, and you just see how difficult it is. Fist fights, people fucking each other, and just insanity on every level. But yet the movie's great. It's just very hard to do what we do because we have thousands of people.
Yeah.
In that Poultrygeist, we had 300 zombie Indian chickens that had to be made up before nightfall so they could be in the nighttime scene. And we only had the shortest night of the month in August to shoot. So we didn't have any nighttime, really.
Yeah.
So we had to practice. Literally, we had military school to make up the zombie Indian chickens, where we had kids who were literally being timed during the rehearsal periods to see how fast, to make sure they could indeed put 300 people into, and we succeeded, but it was hell. Most independent movies, as good as they are, in other words, Green Room. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
It's a wonderful movie, but there are only 5 people probably, right? Very small cast, team. One location. Yeah. That makes it a lot easier.
Well, talking about
you try working with whales who are in the union. They want overtime. They want a hot lunch. You can tell by the corn that they ate at the Troma craft service table.
Well, talking about Green Room, I mean, the director, there's rumors that there's a new Toxic Avenger coming out, a new reboot with Peter Dinklage being in it.
What? Where did you hear this?
You go on the internet, you find rumor forums. I mean, it's supposedly done by the guy who's doing Green Room. And I was wanting to know, for a present day audience, is there any jokes that were in the original Toxic Avenger that you wouldn't be able to do now, or would you rather just want to push the envelope further?
Interesting. Well, I'm first of all, I was joking. I know all about this, and Michael Hers and I are producers. And I was on the set. I was on the set, but I've signed an NDA, so I can't really say too much.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I've already pissed everybody off. These Legendary is a real company. They did. They had a huge hit with Kong versus Zilla, and
yeah.
And they've done some good stuff too. Good people, nice people, and have been very good to us and respectful. And Macon Blair, who's the director, who did write Green Room and has only directed one movie, but it's dynamite. It's called I Don't Feel Safe in This World Anymore. It might be on HBO Max. I can't. It's very good.
Yeah.
And again, one location, 2 or 3 actors, but it's absolutely compelling. And his script for Toxic Avenger was definitely way better than the original.
Yeah.
And pushing the envelope, I think the fact that wasn't Michael Herz's idea or my idea to star Peter Dinklage as the mop-wielding, hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. So, I mean, they're already, in my opinion, stirring the soup a little bit.
Yeah.
And in fact, you might know her, Julie, a comedian. She's in The Toxic Avenger, and she did a series that's on either Amazon or Netflix called Sally Forever.
Okay.
Oh, you got to watch it. If you haven't seen it, it's British.
Yeah.
It's terrific. It's a series, but it's if you would be made by trauma.
Yeah.
Except that it's in focus, and it's got some famous British people.
Yeah.
And but again, doesn't have a big cast or anything. But it's got she shits on a guy's face. There are people vomiting on each other. I mean, you could have been in trauma. Except that the quality is much better, or the technical quality. But she has a big part in the new Toxic Avenger. Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in it.
Wow.
I'm like, Kevin Bacon's in Toxic Avenger. I have to see this. I think Elijah Wood is signed on as well.
Isn't that great? And also Wood. Elijah Wood is in it.
Please tell me you've got a cameo in it, Lloyd. Just if you can't tell us anything.
I don't think I'm allowed to say.
I'm just going to assume you are. I'm going to assume you're in the entire movie the whole way through.
But I did go to the set.
That's awesome.
I tried to meet Peter Dinklage, and I go up to this guy, dwarf, and looks exactly like he does. And I start buttering him up and kissing his ass. And, oh, you're so great. And Cyrano, that was such a wonderful movie. And a Bulgarian woman, it's in Bulgaria, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
The set was in Bulgaria, and she comes up behind. He don't speak English. He was the stand-in.
The stunt double stand-in. Oh, no.
And then I had a second one where Toxie's laying in a hospital bed. And Toxie. So I went up and thought it was Dinklage and did the same thing. And it was a lady this time, a woman, man, in the Toxie costuming. So I never got to meet Peter Dinklage.
Oh God!
No, how can you do? But he's very good, and Cyrano is very good. If you haven't seen that, I think it's just starting to play here.
The new Cyrano de Bergerac story with Peter Dinklage. It looks
right on.
Looks really, really good.
His wife. It was on stage in London. His wife, Elizabeth Schmidt, wrote it. But the movie is delightful, and he sings. It's a musical. He sings. The singing Dinklage. Soon we're going to have the mop wielding Dinklage. Pretty good, right?
His singing has to top yours.
Huh?
His singing will have to top yours after what I saw in obviously Shakespeare's Shitstorm.
Well, thank you very much. You guys are great. And by the way, there's a hashtag called #Oscars Fan Favorite. Could you ask your fans and peeps to go there and vote for?
You definitely know we will.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And if you go to that, sorry, I'm talking too much, but go to that hashtag Oscars Oscar Fan Favorite. Oscars Fan Favorite. You'll see that about 1 out of 5 is #Shakespeare Shitstorm.
Yeah.
And the other four are Spider-Man.
I was going to say probably for Spider-Man.
I didn't see any other movies. Seriously, go there and look at it. So it wasn't our idea. This was something spontaneous that maybe the cast and crew.
That's amazing that's happening. It really is, because that would help bring more recognition. Absolutely.
Well, I see that my problem is I just want to stick a stick in the eye of the
Oscars.
That's which doesn't get you anywhere. But
well, you've said a lot of you've brought up a lot of thought-provoking things in your films, like Poultrygeist was a big eye-opener about the food industry and the fast food industry, and Shakespeare Shitstorm is about big pharma, and drugs and companies. You also poke fun at social justice warriors.
Oh God!
Is there anybody else that you have not yet made fun of or brought to light that you would like to?
The good news, we have a title that can be put in any family publication, any museum, easily, no problem. No, it's stupid. But I agree with you. It's a great film. So let's hope,
Aye, yeah. Let's hope, get an Oscar nomination.
It'll have to be one hell of a miracle to make it successful. But our fans, I think, are going to champion this film. They really, so far, they really. Thank you for doing this interview. And
oh no, thank you for your time out to talk to us as well.
Yeah,
there is a connection. We talked briefly about Romeo and Juliet. James Gunn has become one of my favorite writer directors in the industry. And even I see his mainstream films, the dialogue and the characters have always still felt to me birthed in Troma, and it's still there. And obviously your cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy as well was fantastic. How's your relationship with James Gunn been since Romeo and Juliet?
Well, I was the first one to speak out when he got kicked out of Disney.
Yeah.
So he had to appreciate that, I'm sure. But he doesn't pay me. Doesn't even give me a line. Tell him to give me a line.
Damn it.
Send him a tweet at him. Why didn't hashtag Lloyd Kaufman should have a line.
He's got one more movie in that Marvel universe, so he's got a chance to fix that.
He's got so many people who want things from him,
I can imagine so.
I mean, every day people go to me and ask if I can, send James a note to help out with something.
Well, after the
he's
success,
a very good guy,
and
he always
Peacemaker, he should definitely do Sergeant Kabuki Man remake. That would be amazing if James Gunn.
Yeah, we're working on that actually. Doug Sackman, who was the head of special effects on #Shakespeare's Shitstorm and was my assistant 20 years ago, he's got something going. He's got a script written, and all we need is a couple of $1 million.
Well, I mean, I did see an interview,
but it is being developed. Whether or not it'll occur, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I saw an interview online with Stan Lee, who said that obviously Lloyd Kaufman was one of his favorite directors, and Sergeant Kabuki was one of his favorite characters that he'd love to change into a comic book. So, maybe Disney might knock on your door one day and say, "Hey, Lloyd, we want to buy your catalog. Here's just $3 billion. Just give us every single film you've got."
That's a wonderful idea. The only contact we ever had was we imported My Neighbor Totoro, Hayao Miyazaki's first. First, we were the first to present that in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Again, it's got to be 30 years ago. And Disney, after we got successful with it, they bought up all his library.
Shit.
And they did a big publicity job on having acquired Ghibli studios,
yeah.
And they used the My Neighbor Totoro artwork in all the press releases. So the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, it looked like they had also bought Totoro.
Yeah.
So when it came time for us to try to sell television, nobody would buy it.
Snubbed. Damn.
So Disney fucked us very royally there.
Motherfuckers.
And then they wanted to put Toxie in they have some kind of a hallway of something, and they wanted to put him in there, but they didn't want to give us any publicity. So what was some lumpy guy with a mop and just stick him in there among
yeah.
So, fuck them.
Son of a bitch.
Fuck them. But Michael Hirst says that they have the best possibility for a real metaverse.
Yeah,
Disney's really not Facebook, but really Disney.
See, it still amazes me that when I was a kid, there was a Toxic Crusaders cartoon series.
BBC.
I watched the films, and then I saw this cartoon series, and I'm saying to people, do they even know what this series is about? Like this is nothing connected to the film, but didn't stop me from buying the video games and buying the toys and buying the t-shirts.
Thank you. Well, the original Toxie, there's some good action figures in Walmart now of the original, not the new one, but so that has breathed life into quite a number of new things. toys and clothing and hats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very good for us, and I think the movie will be very good. I mean, it all depends. They are supposed to. Legendary seems to be working with Warner Brothers on the distribution, but Warner's has been acquired by Discovery, and they were part of AT&T Telephone Company.
Of course.
Warner Brothers was a piece of a phone company. So now they're a piece of another entertainment company. But we're still not sure if Warner's has the wherewithal to. We don't know. And I don't think Legendary knows.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll have a big opening. But it's definitely, our fans are very excited about it.
Yeah.
And if the movie looks like the script, it's going to be better than the original. No joke.
Excellent. Really
And making love Stroma, you're going to see lots of Troma Easter eggs or references and things that only a Troma fan would know. He's the right guy. He's only 82 years old too. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
No, he's a young dude and a good guy, and lives in Austin, so he's not perverted by the filth in the City of Angels.
Give it time.
I've spent some time with him. He loves film. That's the main thing. He loves film, and he loves Terra Firma and the obscure Troma movies as well as the Toxie. So I don't think we could have a better. I should knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on
We
wood.
can have a better reimagining or reboot than Macon Blair.
Is there any of your own films in your catalog that you'd like to remake, or do you think they're best as they are? And what is your opinions on remakes in general?
I'm all for it. Certainly of our movies. You betcha. We're running on the memory of fumes.
Yeah.
So any revenue, something like that, is manna from heaven. Can you say manna? Or,
Yeah.
No, I guess you have to say persona from heaven.
Persona.
Or woman. No, they from heaven. At any rate, sure. And you don't go to movie jail for making a good sequel, right? Or a good reimagining. Evil Dead 2, in my opinion, was as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And there are all sorts of classics. A Star is Born. Did you guys see that one?
I saw the original. I haven't seen the remake yet, but I figured they're
yeah,
both
the
the
original.
same,
The original is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not the original, but the Judy Garland, James Mason one was the third iteration.
Yeah,
So
it was.
the new ones are. There's been like 6 of them.
Well, that's it. I remember seeing the Barbra Streisand one many years ago, and then obviously they remade it now with Lady Gaga.
Yeah, the Lady Gaga one was fine. The Barbra Streisand one was garbage, but the original one not the original one, the third one by George Cukor is one of the masterpieces. So again, the sequels and some of those are All Quiet on the Western Front. Was shot in it was a silent black and white movie.
Yeah.
Then remade. I think the sound movie is better.
Yeah.
Lloyd,
can I ask?
I think we need a real war though.
If you weren't doing anything tomorrow, if you had the day off, what film would you put on and watch without hesitation?
A new film?
Well, no, one personally for you, one that you just like, that's my go-to film when I've just got nothing else to do.
I don't think I have that. If there's a go-to thing, we're talking about porn.
Well, it can be porn. You can say porn.
Porn, pot, and booze and Twizzlers.
Yes.
Lloyd Kaufman's favorite movie.
I don't think I have a go-to movie, but I do watch a lot of old movies.
Yeah.
I just saw All Fall Down by Victor Minnelli, written by. I had read the book in about 8th grade,
nice.
And this movie stars Warren Beatty and
Warren Beatty's brilliant.
Somebody St. John, the beautiful blonde woman. Eva Marie St. John.
Yeah.
Oh, Eva Marie Saint. I'm sorry. I had a boss named Richard St. John. Any rate, so there you go.
That would be your go-to movie.
So the point is, I watch a lot of old stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't say I have a go-to movie. But if you read my books in my memoir, you will learn that Ernst Lubitsch. Does that name mean anything to you, Ernst Lubitsch?
No, but I will look it up after this interview.
Yeah, he made a movie called To Be or Not to Be with Jack Benny, Carol Lombard, and Robert Stack. way before your time, but it's the best.
Yeah.
And that was the one that pushed me over the line. And I was watching it in basically an empty theater. It was at Yale Film Society. There were like 2 people in the theater.
Yeah.
And Yale was all boys, so it wasn't like people. Film Society was, real cinephile.
Yeah.
So I'd go in, try to get a date, but there were only 2 people, and so I actually watched the movie, and it was just so great, so crazy and great at the same time. And obviously, I'm not alone. Mel Brooks remade it.
Yeah.
And it's also good. Not as good as Ernst Lubitsch, but very good.
Talking about Mel Brooks, like I said, trying to avoid spoilers, but the line from Miranda at the end of the film, I have to say, Lloyd, I've been following you for years. I never realized how much you and Mel Brooks look alike.
Right? See, if the fans can get their asses into the theater, they're going to have fun with this movie.
Yeah,
but you get it. You got it all. But
I totally
unfortunately, you 2 guys make up about 40% of our entire fan base. So,
they're out there. They just we just need a signal.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Just need a giant snowflake in the sky.
That is terrific. I have to say, it's a good movie. But clearly, there's content, an opinion in there that people are offended by already. Hey, no festivals played it, right?
That's
in England,
a crying shame.
They usually the whatever the horror festivals, they usually play our stuff.
Yeah,
it's crickets, and pretty much all over the world. And the one big festival that did invite us said it was the title, that they couldn't get any publicity because the mainstream wouldn't deal with it, even if you put in asterisks so it doesn't say shit, so the title very stupid. But
I'm going to try to use our platform to advertise it as much as we can to our audience, and then hopefully that will just start the fire.
What's the name? Hit up the last what's his name loves the one that's not John Cleese, but the other living python.
Oh, Eric Idle. Is that Eric Idle?
What's his name?
You got
the
Eric
guy
Idle.
Who does travel.
Michael Palin.
Yeah,
Eric Idle.
Payne, that's it.
Palin. John
Payne.
Cleese.
He's a good guy. Tag him. You never know. With the hashtag Oscar fan favorites. Hashtag Shakespeare shitstorm. He's a good guy.
We're gonna tag everybody, Lloyd, and you're gonna be surprised because you're gonna get that phone call and you're gonna be like, "What? Who? 2 guys from Plymouth? What?"
I would like to thank Off the Shelf Reviews. For,
yes, that would be amazing.
Making this Oscar possible. Alrighty, I gotta probably head out. There's somebody sitting in my office waiting to chat.
No worries.
Torturing having to listen to me yapping.
Yeah,
and we can do more some other time if you'd like.
That would be fantastic, Lloyd. Absolutely. We'll definitely be here to chat about films, chat about trauma, and chat about what it is, what projects
contact
you're doing
Rocco.
next.
We'll do it again. No,
yeah,
seriously.
Absolutely.
Do it again. And meanwhile, if you could please pump. What do you call it? Bump. Trauma Now.
Yeah.
And,
we're going to advertise Trauma
Oscar
Now, Shakespeare Shitstorm. We're going to advertise all of your work. We're going to try and get it pushed out as much as we can. We're going to obviously do our review of it and not avoid giving away too many spoilers so more people get in and watch it.
The main thing is it's the best hashtag Oscar fans favorite. The best movie you have ever seen.
Yes, yes.
Gabe Friedman and I have a script. Well, I didn't really. He wrote it, but it's my story.
Yeah.
And we wrote it a while back. But the name is called The Best Film Ever. So that if a critic reviews it, I just saw the best film ever, and right.
But it's all right.
And most people don't read any further.
Yeah, exactly. They've already got it.
Well, anyway, whatever you guys can do to get the word out.
Absolutely.
Maybe push somebody in New York. We push people into the tube tracks. It's a very popular sport here in the subways. So maybe
as long as it creates a fantastic trauma splatter.
Something crazy. That's right. I've head crushing.
Yes.
The Bard, 420th birthday of the Bard. All righty, I'm going to sign off, and we'll do it again when you.
Okay.
When your fans aren't tired, right now you've saturated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, Lloyd.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take it easy, Lloyd.
Bye.
Bye.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a
Cheers.
lot.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Yeah,
And we're back.
just at the end there, I thought he was going to show his dick. I was like, no way.
That was awesome, wasn't it? Lloyd Kaufman was an absolute gentleman. He really was. And yes, I actually watched quite a few interviews with Lloyd Kaufman before the recording, just to see what he was like in interviews. And literally, you will ask him a question, and Lloyd will answer something else. He'll talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
Love it.
But he is amazing. It's such an insight. 50 years of making movies in the independent market. Just an absolute legend. So
we were saying, weren't we, sort of like that's a lot of time for someone to give up to do an interview, right? Like a 40-minute. Obviously, you guys were talking before, setting up for it and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
we lost 10 minutes at the beginning because Lloyd had technical issues.
Oh, you say old man uses internet. That's generous too, to give that kind of time. That's awesome.
It took like a week to plan those questions, and then even then, I'm just like, what do I ask him? I couldn't spoil too much about the film that we had already watched in preview for the review, but at the same time, all I wanted to do was talk about that and then talk about every film. So then it's just like 7 things. I just
full fanboy, like, Lloyd, have you seen Toxic Avenger? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Man, but
I liked it too.
Seriously, you have to see Shakespeare's Shitstorm. You have to see Shakespeare's Shitstorm.
Aye, well, we'll have our review out for that movie because the Thursday, the very end of
spoilers,
this month.
It's positive.
Yes, well, yeah. Well, as fans of Troma, I think it's fantastic. It's it's not for everyone, but you know that with Troma, right?
That would be the funniest thing if you interviewed it and then you just shit all over the movie.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, this piece of shit. Thanks, Lloyd.
Alrighty, so let's roll into the third part of the podcast.
Yes.
Also, I just want to very quickly say massive thank you to everyone in the chat right now for hanging out with us throughout that interview. And again, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Dreadful, for the raid as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
I do apologise. Obviously, I should have just muted. Sorry, not just muted, but paused the alerts because obviously follow alerts and raid alerts are separate to the bot commands. So yeah, first time we've tried that. So there we go. Alrighty, so let's hit that.
Wasn't that calm about it just now? Just saying.
No, I wasn't. But I've had time to calm down. And welcome back, everyone, to the third and final part of podcast 43, where we're going to be answering your questions.
Yes.
Alrighty, so the first question we have in today is from Craig Hall.
What up, Craig Hall?
What's up, Craig?
Which characters from movies do you most closely resemble? Not which really cool character from your favourite movie would you like to be, so any Snake Plissken, McCready comparisons will be called out for the bullshit it so clearly is.
Fair.
What character in a movie do you think most similar to you?
I would go for me, Spud from Trainspotting.
What?
It's a heroin addict, dude.
Well, so
what do you mean? Well, yeah.
He's Scottish, quite mad.
Scottish.
I'm trying to think of somebody with a round ginger face like mine, really.
Okay, now, Nella, you just said Silent Bob for Iain.
Thanks, Nella.
Now, there's a slight hole in your theory there in the first word.
Silent.
He's more like Jay Muse, if I'm honest.
Yes.
I'm fucking actually going to say Jay Muse for you. Or, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
A ginger Jay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And normally, whoever stood next to you is more Silent Bob, because I can't get fucking worded.
Okay, that's good for me. I can go with mine. What's you guys?
I don't know. I always go with the dude from Big Lebowski. But that's my idealized me. Just like the dude abides, man. Like whatever shit is happening, still got a zen mostly. So I'm really trying to think because it's a really cool question.
I've got one if you want to think.
Yeah, it's maybe easier for you.
I'm going to cheat though because it's not a movie, but I've got to go with the person that knows me the best in the world. Sorry.
You Nella.
Fuck you, that popped me. That was funny.
For those of you only listening, a hobbit, Frodo. I'll take it. He's a good guy.
Good. Yeah. Nearly fucked the whole thing up at the end, but still. So my wife knows me the best in the world, and she told me who, we watched the thing, and she was like, "That's you," and I was like, "Hey, yeah, you might have something there." It wasn't it wasn't a film. It was Ricky Gervais's character in the series Afterlife.
Really?
With the way he deals, dude. I'm nice to you because I know you. I'm not good with people.
Fair.
And there were certain things that when he reacts to situations, she's like, "Pow, that's what you do," and she's laughing her ass off all the way through. I mean, the one with there's a point. The funny thing is, he's got an excuse. He's lost everything dear to him in the world. My life's great. I've got no reason to be this aggro with people, but it's like when he's in the park with his dog, and his dog's running around. And this busybody asshole is like, "Excuse me, but the park's for everyone. Your dog's supposed to be on a lead." And he's like, "Oh, sorry." And he leans down to the dog. "What's that?" "He is not a fat, annoying cunt. Don't say sorry, mate." And she's just staring daggers at me. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "That's you. That's what you do." I'm like, it's fair, actually. And there's several examples through that show where I'm just like, "Oh, fuck, yeah. She might be right, actually." Come on, who have you got then?
Well, I'm trying to think.
It's
really
tough. See, Nella said Frodo, but I'm thinking more Kitty or Philly from the Hobbit.
From the Hobbit?
From the Hobbit group, more of a go.
Yeah, but now you're just doing like physical comparisons.
Yeah, but
sorry,
but he's got the dwarven look on the face with the beard, like
Klingon.
Actually,
Predator.
We'll stay in the same universe, and I'll say Brody from Mallrats for you then.
Okay. Yeah, I can go with that.
Because there's a lot of like, this is bullshit, about that character. So.
It's a very tough question, Craig. I've never had that thought to do that. Just my idealized version, really. But I always sometimes saw Iain as like a Seth Rogen type, really, really approachable, really lovable, really down to earth, very friendly and welcoming to everybody, and a total very good guy.
I will kill you in your sleep if I need to. I mean, times are hard. We're living in a almost post-apocalyptic wasteland.
It's a few weeks now.
Yep.
Great question, Craig. I'm sorry I didn't have time to think of an answer. Next question is from David Morris.
Hey, David.
What's up, David?
You can choose a headline slot for WrestleMania. Any two wrestlers in their prime. Who would you choose? Fist bumps all round.
Undertaker versus Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm going to go with
Macho Man from, when you say his prime, though, from what? Like, you're talking WrestleMania 3, not NWO?
89,
okay, cool.
89, 90.
89 is a good fucking year for Macho Man Randy Savage.
Like when he could still jump from the top corner.
What's the stipulation? What match?
WrestleMania, it would have to be a casket match. Taker takes the win, but this will be the finish, right? And this is when they're like super in their prime, so their knees haven't gone, their backs are all good. So it's like Macho Man is like fucking just lobbing himself at the Undertaker. The Undertaker's like completely not selling it, right? They're going back and forth, right? He probably takes a choke slam. Yeah, though. Macho Man goes to the top rope. He grabs him for the choke slam, chokes him off the top rope
Into the casket?
No, into the middle of the ring. Then he'll go to the top and he'll go for the leg drop and miss it. Macho Man will go hit the elbow, go for the pin, forget it's a casket match.
Because he does that.
Because he does it.
And he'll get kicked out all the time.
And then he'll go to
just
roll
like
him
the
into
Rumble all over again.
He'll go to roll him into the casket. The Undertaker will fight back, and then he'll do a jump in tombstone into the casket.
Rough.
Macho Man into it.
So you want him to die.
Slams casket. Taker wins.
Nice. Like my favourite wrestler of all time is Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like those two have already put on spectacular shows, but I was also just trying to think of some of my favourite matches, and you're like, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, one of my favourite matches ever.
Yeah, man, I've been 2002.
Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, tables, ladders, and chairs. One of the most impressive feats ever. I know also The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan as well was absolutely amazing. But I know Hogan not necessarily in his prime. But maybe I'd go Triple H, Undertaker. Yeah, that's my call.
I'm gonna say, because it's two wrestlers that have never wrestled each other, and I truly see its potential to be greatest match of all time. Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels 97,
Ooh.
Eddie Guerrero 2002.
Oh, good shout.
They never wrestled each other.
Yeah.
And that would be fucking phenomenal.
Did Eddie and
or AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels, but I'm going to say Eddie
Guerrero. Never even faced when
No.
Eddie won the title.
And I remember the part of it is even when he died and Shawn Michaels did his sort of like his eulogy part, you know, when they were putting the thing, and he said we never wrestled each other. I was like, fuck,
so
dude,
okay,
that would be so good.
So before you're finished, what's the finish for yours?
Finish for mine. Well, Undertaker beat Triple H both times, so you know.
So
Triple H wins this one.
Okay,
so he's breaking the streak.
He breaks the streak.
That's it. Yeah. So he breaks the streak at WrestleMania. That would have been a good shout actually. Triple H taking.
It's better than who was it who broke the reign? Was it Brock wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was concussed.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there was that.
So what's your finish?
So it's probably a ladder match.
Oh man!
Because we're doing this for the title. Because it's the main event of Mania.
In the Continental?
No, man.
No, man, it's the main event. So yeah.
Okay.
This is 2002 Eddie Guerrero. Don't forget. So this is the Eddie Guerrero that beat Brock Lesnar for the undisputed title.
Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, ladder match, WrestleMania for the title.
And
it's going to be a big finish.
It's going to be a big finish, probably involving obviously Guerrero's got to come off that ladder for a frog splash.
Both of them are coming off the fucking.
Michaels has got to come off the ladder for a big elbow, but I see maybe.
Oh, sick!
He's gonna flip him off.
Moonsault from the ladder.
Well, no, I was
outside onto the commentator's table with Guerrero on it.
Yeah, I'd probably see that one.
It's a dream match, so you can make whatever you want.
I would see Guerrero maybe sort of like hanging from the thing. Michael super kicks the ladder and Guerrero's hanging.
Oh yeah.
Comes down with the title belt and hits him with a fucking Hurricane Rana.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
so I'm playing SmackDown versus Raw 2008 at this point, but
and now the belt is in the middle of the ring. The ref's already been knocked out. He wakes up, sees the belt in the ring, not sure which one of them dropped it.
Oh, so you're going full Vince Russo.
So then they start throwing it back and forth because they start pretending who's knocked out who, and then who's going for the finish.
Guerrero wins.
Guerrero.
I'll put Guerrero over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I do apologise to the person who posted this question. I have somehow not copied the name.
Okay.
But this person asks, love the vids as always, gentlemen. Would you guys ever be interested in reviewing the Ninja trilogy? Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3, the Domination. They're not very well known, but enjoyable films. Thank you, guys. I've never heard of them.
I love ninjas. And I would love to watch the ninja movies.
Do you know these movies?
No, but they sound awesome. Ninja. Oh, actually, was it Ninja 3: The Dominion?
Domination.
The Domination. Angry Video Game Nerd just did a video about the last Ninja of the NES game, and that came up. And there was a sequence where he goes to attack people in a golf cart. It looked awesome and shit.
I haven't seen any of these. It was Kenneth Neff who posted that.
Kenneth, thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Kenneth. Yeah, I don't know. I think have I seen Enter the Ninja?
It's 80s ninja movies, man.
Of course it is. It's got ninja in the title.
Yeah,
it's never been produced out of any other decade. I was like Enter the Ninja. I was thinking of the Skindred song. I was
Beverly
like,
Hills Ninja was in the 90s.
Gina can stay there.
But no, thank you for bringing those films to our attention. As always, we're up for reviewing. Like, you've seen the content on the channel. We review any genre, any era. So yeah,
and he'll buy them on fucking DVD. You watch him
if it's bad enough.
Yeah.
I have to hold it.
My precious.
Okay, the next question is from David Allen Evans.
What up, David?
Hey fellas, hope you're not succumbing to profound existential dread over world events. Regardless of what's going on, I always am.
Thinking.
Anyways, having finally seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, jeez, David, you're really hitting us today.
Yeah.
And having mixed feelings towards it, my question is this. Did it remind anyone else of the NWO DX confrontation at WrestleMania 31?
What are you fucking nodding for? What?
I read this question.
Because both were cool to see, but don't really make any sense when you think about it. Also felt bittersweet because they happened way later than they should have.
Yeah.
And on that note, R.I.P. Scott Hall.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, yeah, it didn't make any sense, the run-in, because NWO came in to essentially save Sting, who was their biggest fucking enemy throughout.
Well, for a while, but then he
part.
joined.
He joined Wolfpack, and that weren't the fucking Wolfpack that was on the stage, obviously.
No.
You know, oops, why have I got an alarm going off? I agree with you. It made no fucking sense, but it was like let's get everyone out there because we never had DX versus NWO,
but that's what
we won't.
But that's what he's saying. Did Ghostbusters Afterlife feel like it coming out maybe being a bit too late and really didn't make any sense. And I would have to agree with that, because I mean, my points about Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm still trying to get over, and I think it's the Star Spangled Nostalgic thing.
Barely mentioned it.
So with obviously the WrestleMania moment when the DX music hit, you were like, oh yeah, this is obviously awesome, and then you have all these oldish looking guys walking down, with
Kevin Nash's slow walk.
That's it.
Where it's like, look at him trying to be cool, and he's like, no, this is a long fucking ramp, dude.
I know I've already said it once, but like all the love to Scott Hall and everything, but like, when you saw him at WrestleMania and you saw him at the Hall of Fame, he did like this, like he didn't know if he was doing his Razor Ramon impression or that was just how he walked.
Yeah, bless him.
He's out of the wheelchair, so let him go.
Yeah, they were struggling, but yeah, I mean that was a fucking weird match, wasn't it? Imagine like Triple H fucking hits you in the face with a sledgehammer and then you shake his hand afterwards. Like, how much of a dick did they want to make Sting look? I get it. They won the war, so they got to remind everyone.
At the moment, man, it's a lot more craziest thing. It's just gone way past WrestleMania at the moment. So
I don't understand the question. Ghostbusters Afterlife made perfect sense.
I know, but I loved it. The comparison. I loved it too. But the point of, did it feel maybe a bit too late? Like,
yeah, well, of course, it should have happened when the video game Ghostbusters the game came out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Next question. Is from Havard Ryan.
Hey, Havard.
Would you rather party one night with the Marines from Aliens or the squad from Predator?
That's a fucking good question, dude.
I thought about this one, and I'd rather go with the squad from Predator. Now, because the squad from Aliens are a really close knit group, and I'm pretty sure they've gone through some badass.
They also don't like each other very much sometimes.
Exactly. They aren't as close as the guys from Predator, and they've got a history. Plus, the music they're playing before they drop into the jungle is fucking badass. So the soundtrack for the party is going to be awesome.
Yep.
They were also drinking on the job because they had that flask. So whatever they're drinking is fucking hardcore.
Also,
they all smoke.
You're on Earth. Win.
Yes, yeah.
Taxi's home.
Yeah.
You get to drink with Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, I'm gonna have to go Aliens,
and
so that
preferably the Predator if you're really lucky.
Because when I get lost, I can go wandering around going, "Where's a pound?
Where's a pound? Where's a pound?" Simply wake up Hicks.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Hicks are going to pass out somewhere in a corner. Me and Hudson, we'll just go and get flat out drunk somewhere. Vasquez will probably, absolutely humiliate me, which would be awesome.
You're getting pegged, mate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'd take Aliens.
She's going to pull that long hair.
Those guys in Aliens are drawing on people's faces.
Oh, I know. It's much more rough and dangerous for the Aliens team, I think.
Yeah. It'd be funny to be around all the guys from Predator, and I'll just be like, "Man, I am tiny."
Right?
Be like, "Shit! I'm gonna need to do some fucking push-ups or something."
When Shane Black looks like a giant compared to me. Great question, Havard.
Yeah. Awesome question.
Okay, we got a bit of a long question here from George Smith.
Hey, George.
What's up, George?
The thing that I love about you guys is that you give your honest opinion about things regardless of the general consensus. This is what keeps me coming back week after week. Thank you for saying, George. So in the spirit, here's my question. Unpopular sequels that are legit better than their originals. His picks are The Karate Kid Part 4, The Neverending Story Part 2, RoboCop 2, and this is the only one of these listed I get behind, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, which is one of my favourite Trek movies.
See, Neverending Story 2 is not better than Neverending Story 1.
Watch out for the river, it's pure acid.
I'll let it ride.
Make a wish. Keep wishing.
I'm kind of controversial with sequels anyway.
Yeah, Jaws 2 over 1 for you.
Jaws 2 over Jaws 1 for me.
Say it again.
Jaws 2 over Jaws 1.
And again.
Simply because it's got a lot more action, but we've already got the story. And I think that's it. For me, I'm accepting Jaws is really good and exists. So Jaws 2 is better because it extends the story. Same as I go, same in the same context as Terminator. Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1. Yes?
Yeah, but that's not unpopular.
Yeah. No, Terminator 1 is better. Terminator 1 for me is definitive.
No, but the question is unpopular sequels.
Right, okay. Yeah. I'm explaining why my sequel picks are chosen for me. Grease 2.
What, you prefer Grease 2
Grease 2 is totally superior to Grease 1.
You can have that, Ian. I'm not even fighting.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me my choice in life. I'm glad I went.
Well, Ian, Ghostbusters Afterlife over Ghostbusters 2
and Ghostbusters 3.
No, but it's not over the original. It's a really hard fucking question. Like, because I'd say, like, because in a way, I could argue that again, it's not over the original, but I mean, Kingsman 2 is an unpopular sequel, and I'm like, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it's not.
Psycho 2 is better than Psycho 1.
No.
Psycho 2 is definitely more gorier and more fucking scarier. No. Plus, it's got the twist fucking ending. You guys are so wrong. This is why I don't answer sequels questions, because I'm always right.
Well, I mean, like Star Trek: The Motion Picture for me. I mean, he's listed Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. It is one of my favorite Star Trek sequels, and I do prefer it over the motion picture without a doubt. Not over Wrath of Khan.
It is an unpopular pick, number 5.
But yeah, the question is about unpopular sequels. Like Terminator 2 is a very popular sequel.
See, no, that's it. But with Star Trek, you've got multiple sequels, so you can choose any of them.
Well, yeah, but that would be like saying, "Oh, Rocky 5 is way better than fucking Rocky" or something, you know.
Yeah, but it's not.
But of course it's not. That's why I'm having a tough time with the fucking
question. Rocky 2 is better than Rocky 1, I think.
No,
if you're
Rocky
already
1's the best
Rocky
one. I don't like any of the sequels more.
You know what? Yeah, I still is still better. But again, that's not an unpopular sequel. People they dug on that.
Okay, so Grease 2. Grease 2 is better than Grease 1. We all accept it. Everything's right in the world.
It's probably the best answer we're going to get.
No, that one. Lone Dragon, Hot Shots. Hot Shots Part 2 is far better than the first one.
But again, it's popular though, right?
It's hard. It's a spoof movie. Is it popular?
Yeah, I think it's popular.
That's difficult.
Yeah, very tough question, George. I'm having trouble. I mean, Grease 2 is like, I mean, I don't care.
Apparently apparently all we have is Grease 2.
You think Grease 2 because I'm right. Grease 2 is a superior sequel to Grease 1. Simply because the person who choreographed all the songs and dances in Grease 1 that made Grease 1 successful went on to direct and do all the music for Grease 2. So Grease 2 is obviously more successful than Grease 1.
Was that unpopular though?
No, I think they're all
that's
popular.
what I mean.
Yeah, they're all popular Jason movies. Like, the Freddy movies. I mean, I like Dream Warriors more than one, but again,
Batman Returns is better than Batman.
Yeah, but it's not unpopular.
It's not unpopular though, is it? It's still fairly popular. It's like,
alright, Grease 2 then.
Yeah,
that's what I said. Apparently all we've got is Grease 2.
That means we're kind of on the consensus that most unpopular sequels we have a consensus that they are awful for the most part.
There you go.
But like, unfortunately, The Karate Kid Part 4 I never saw. Neverending Story Part 2 is not even close to the first one.
No.
RoboCop 2 not even close to the first one.
But it's good.
But I totally agree with Star Trek 5.
RoboCop 2 is really good.
It is good.
And Grease 2. Grease 2 is superior. Established that.
Next question. No more alcohol for Ian. It's from Aaron Gardner.
Hey, Aaron.
Hello, chaps. Good to see you back. Are there any remakes that you prefer when compared to the originals? For me, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Assault on Precinct 13 are just more enjoyable than their originals. Ooh. Keep up the good work, boys. Some hot takes there, Aaron Gardner.
The Chainsaw Massacre is the 2013-ish one, right? Because they dropped the from that recent piece of shit, right?
Because the Jessica Alba one I thought was really good.
Jessica Alba one?
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, I was going
to say, fuck, you really confused me. Yes, no, do you know what? Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I like that.
And then you got the prequel one where you found out how the guy
the beginning.
Was that yeah, I think it was the beginning.
Yeah, I liked that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and because as much as I'm like I don't mind the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but in a way I'm Sure. I think it's because I personally like. Okay, when I think someone asked us on the last podcast where they were like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, or Freddy Krueger. It's a fucking reason Leatherface is never in that conversation. Yeah.
He's just eliminated. But
but the best thing about the mythos is the family, and I thought that had an amazing portrayal of the family, and then she even escapes and fucking ends up with another bunch of cousins and shit.
Never had an origin story, and so with the remake and the beginning, you actually got the origin story of finding the baby.
The Thing.
I was going to say.
I was going to say for me it's the Fly, the Blob.
Scarface.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead remake's not bad.
Yeah, for me it's not.
Cape Fear.
But yeah, it's arguable. Cape Fear, absolutely. Cape Fear. Scorsese's
I got
Cape
a controversial one.
Oh,
Planet of the Apes. The Matt Reeves ones, not the fucking.
Oh my
god, it's a fucking monkey.
No, I love the. I mean, I don't see them as reboots. They are prequels. to the events of the original movie. So it fits in that whole saga. Ocean's 11, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'd not seen the original one, but I'm not a big fan of the heist movies in general.
Casino Royale.
Yeah. Do you know what was a really shit fucking remake that me and Linda watched recently?
What's that?
The West Side Story by fucking Steven Spielberg.
Wow, was it bad?
Yeah, it was bad. Simply because even though he kind of copied the all the songs and all the shots and kind of jazzed it up with fucking CGI and made it look really kind
of... Is this recent?
Yeah, it was out on Disney Plus. It hit the cinema just before Christmas, and then obviously Disney owned it, so they fucking just dropped on the network. And I really wanted to watch it.
Just dropped it like a piece of shit that it is.
Linda's a big fan of the original West Side Story, so I really wanted to watch it to compare it so that we could talk about it. And then we watched it, and he moved a couple of songs around, which completely threw the tone. Completely threw the tone to make you kind of not care about where the story was going, because everybody had just kind of caused it for themselves by the way they arranged it. Probably one of the worst Steven Spielberg movies ever, but bad remakes.
Yeah.
So no, then to answer that question on that one, didn't prefer that remake, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Longest Yard. Yeah, Longest Yard's a good remake.
Next question is from Simon Furnell.
Hey, Simon. Beam Machine's good, yeah.
Okay, so we did already cover this in the beginning of the podcast, Simon, but Simon did ask what was our thoughts on The Batman. But Simon said he was kind of polarised by it. The setting is pitch perfect with some good performances, but there are some flaws, in his humble opinion, that really pull you out of the movie and make you question the reasoning behind them. But hopefully we answered your question with the 20 minutes at the beginning of the podcast.
What's funny is, while you were all watching that interview, we had like a 40-minute discussion about it, but it was like it's still in that phase where you're like, it's still fucking
fresh.
New enough.
You need to watch it again,
people
Simon.
haven't seen it, but
Simon, you need to watch it again. Go watch it a second time, then buy it on DVD and on 4K Blu-ray.
And then I need to fucking double bill it with Joker as well.
Yeah,
tone wise.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and the last message that came in from Facebook was from Chris Edmonds.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, gentlemen. Great to have the podcast back. Have any of you made the move over to 4K Blu-ray? If so, what are your thoughts? Also, have you played Tormented Souls yet? Great game, very much like the original Resident Evil games, but with better graphics. Well worth a try. I did see your question earlier today, Chris, and then I was like, Tormented Souls? I don't think I know this game. Tormented Souls, survival horror. How much? £15. Wish list done. And I probably
just like ticking boxes.
Yes, I was like, I mean, it's very much in the vein of Resident Evil. Fixed camera angles, backtracking, minimal amounts of ink ribbon saves, bosses, low ammo, and a very spooky, atmospheric looking game with lots of jank and some questionable voice actors. So I was just like, you know what, this is ticked every box, so it's my cup of tea.
Man, I can't wait for the movie adaptation of this. I'm gonna borrow the DVD off of Iain.
But Andy, I saw you nodding to the 4K question. I know Ian's still watching VHS.
Yeah.
How's the 4K?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not like I'm a tech guy that's not a tech guy. I just buy the latest stuff because I'm like, must be good, right? I'm like, 4K's got to be better. Well, I mean, 4K's better than 3K because that's racist. So, 4K good, 3K bad. So I'll get 4K. No, I mean, yeah, I upgraded.
Special K.
Yes, no, it's good. Special K. But now I'm in that thing of like the box my PlayStation 5 came in had 8K written. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get that now. I gotta get a
new
TV.
Player, new TV.
Yeah, so I mean, I got 4K TV and the new Xbox, new PlayStation, and I've got a bunch of 4K Blu-rays. But what I did do is I tend to go. The thing that I noticed from DVD to Blu-ray and I've noticed to 4K is the sound quality.
Yeah,
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I tend to just buy 4K Blu-rays that I'm like, if I want a visual feast.
Yes.
And a sound feast and stuff. So, I mean, like, I think the first ones I bought all 4 Avengers movies.
Nice.
On 4K. I mean, this was pre-fucking Disney. And then Disney Plus dropped and I was like, fucking waste of money that was.
Yeah, but I don't think they're dropping the top of the line ones.
I mean, a lot of it is on your streaming quality.
Yeah,
most of it is on your streaming quality. And I've got like 200 meg broadband now, so I'm kind of like, maybe I don't need to buy any DVDs ever again. But I gotta, I mean, like, setting up my Xbox and stuff, like my Series X was like, I had to fucking Google like the setup to get it, to balance it with, like, I was googling my LG 4K TV compared to it and how to get it to the frame rate right and everything like that. Because to be honest, I'm not a tech guy, but some stuff you can see a difference in it. And then others that, like, you're probably right where you can probably just sort of like stream it just as good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I bet something like Dune is going to look fucking sick.
Yes.
When that comes out, that's something that I would look to buy in 4K.
Well, you can make sand look really, really good, but it's still just going to be on the screen.
Yeah, but you're like, sand looks good because you're watching grainy as fuck videos. And you're like, man, I love some grains.
Man, when was the last time you watched something in black and white from the fucking pre-50s?
Oh, well, I mean, from the pre-50s. That's really specific, dude. I mean, I think I saw an advert for fucking Nosferatu hit its 100-year anniversary the other day.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Last thing I watched in black and white was either Logan or fucking Justice. I think I watched the Justice League cut in black and white.
So you are just
fucking great.
You're solely set on just getting the newest, biggest, baddest film, which is
kind of
great. But obviously, if you go back and obviously, enjoy film, you sometimes the grain quality of a film can look worse when they try to make it look better with a 4K Blu-ray.
It literally depends on the team that transfer it, because if it's
like
just
Avengers
upscaled,
movies, fucking Avengers movies would look amazing if they'd even been released on VHS and then took the transfer to DVD. But
it's different. The difference is taking films that the technology of 4K was like not even a pipe dream at that point. But the one film in particular, and everybody who knows my taste in films, Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien. The day that film or the box set released on Blu-ray, I watched Alien 4 times that day. And I was just in awe of how beautiful that film looked.
Yeah.
And up until recently, I think, Ian, you mentioned the other Alien films are coming to Disney streaming soon.
Yeah.
And the only Alien film that is available right now that I'm aware of is Alien in 4K. Aliens, Alien 3 and Resurrection not in 4K yet. And when I watched Alien in 4K, I was again just like, oh my god, I'm still noticing things in the set of this film that I never noticed before. Like, just the patchwork, the textures of the seats in the cockpit, and it's absolutely a visual feast. And the team that did the transfer for the film, they painstakingly made sure every frame of that film looked as good as it could. Now, however, taking some films like from that era and putting them into the modern, like James Cameron's Terminator, and I'm also worried about Aliens, is the shots where things have got rear screen projections or they've superimposed ships flying around look horrendous today. Totally acceptable on VHS, totally fine on DVD. A little bit wobbly on Blu-ray, but in 4K you're just like, oh my god.
Remember when they did Grindhouse?
So
and we all watched that on like DVD.
Yeah. But what I think, I mean, you should never go and I would make an argument like for when Aliens comes out, when James Cameron's Aliens gets released in 4K, I would hope that they would go in and maybe fix some of the special effects, update them a little bit. I mean, surely it's going to not cost too much. And I watched Peter Jackson behind the scenes doing the restoration project for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy into 4K and making sure that all the films looked visually the same because they were made with different cameras at different times.
Yeah.
And so, like, he painstakingly with that restoration made sure that when it goes to 4K, it looks better. And so they looked at some of the special effects of the Balrog and went, oh, it looks horrible in 4K. We need to redo these special effects a little bit.
It's weird to me as well that for some reason Lord of the Rings looked better than The Hobbit.
I actually said this to
like when they're fucking rolling down the river and Legolas is doing these really awkward jumps between them. I was like,
it was a different cameras. It was the 60 frames or the 120 frames that they did.
Yeah.
If you look, I much prefer the special effects in Lord of the Rings over the special effects in Hobbit. What's his name? Lurtz in fucking Fellowship, who fights Aragorn. He's only in the film for a really short sequence, but he looks absolutely fucking amazing and intimidating. And gets his head cut off. The albino orc in Hobbit, couldn't give two fucks about.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's Manu Bennett, dude. He's fucking awesome.
He looks. Yeah, but he looks
great,
too tidy. He looks too nice. They've got this green screen special effect thing all over him. I know prosthetics wouldn't have worked, and they had to go with the computer, but it's the thing prequel all over again. Yeah. I like watching it, but everybody hates me for it because it's easy to do.
I mean, I've got to give the nod to 4K for gaming.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh my god,
the fidelity of graphics.
We were playing Mars Morales, weren't we? On PS5, and just sort of like loading that fucking city up and just watch him zip through and stuff is just like, this is. Show this to me when I was like 10, 12, 15, 20 even, it probably would have blown my brain, you know?
That shit does piss me off that it's only out on PlayStation. Fucking... Man,
Sony, they own it though, don't they?
Yeah.
Dude, they need something, and it's exclusives. Trust me.
I'm not buying any more of your shit. I'm not going to see your fucking films in the cinema. I'm not fucking buying your films on DVD.
Good luck not buying DVDs if you ain't buying Sony, mate. Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute.
We might finally stop.
Resident Evil is a Sony movie.
Yeah, that's my last one. It's my last one. And Ghostbusters Afterlife was my last Sony film to see.
Now you sound like Spud from Trainspotting.
Right,
it's my last one.
Right. Now, technically, if my wife decides to buy tickets to take me to go see a film in the cinema, like Morbius, that she might want to go see it, or buy it on DVD, that's a completely other subject. But Sony, I'm not fucking buying your shit anymore.
Baby, you got to pay. I told people. I made a commitment on the podcast. Forgets out, I'm ruined.
You didn't buy this for my birthday. Oh no. Fucking Sony, man.
Alrighty, next question is from Richie DBZ.
What's up, Richie?
If you could be in any movie, what would it be? I think Ian's would be The Thing, or any Kurt motherfucking Russell film.
I've been Debbie Does That.
I was gonna say porn. I was gonna say fucking porn. Straight away.
Harem Nights 3. Just the one with the chocolate sauce.
I didn't know porn was in the equation.
I'd be in the Batman, but I'd be the guy who doesn't get hit.
Just the bystander.
I'd be in the Batman, but I'd be the guy calling out the answer to all the riddles just to be a dick. It's fucking this, asshole.
It's a great question, Richie.
I mean, I just like, honestly, if you were going to be like, oh, you get to be in a movie or something, I'd be like, oh, just put me in a fucking MCU movie or something, just so I get to be around all that.
Yeah.
And like, there's a good chance you getting cast in like 10 more movies, and get your own spin-off as well. So.
Oh, you're absolutely right now.
Fuck that!
I want to go back to the Hobbit. I want to go back to the Shire.
Man, I'd be in Her with fucking Scarlett Johansson and have her talking in my ear for an hour.
Good show, yeah.
It's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah.
Put me in Jurassic World Dominion. I want to go hunt some dinosaurs.
Just walk around trying to probably fix that fucking movie because you know it's going to be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Lord of the Rings. That's an awesome fantasy world to live in.
I've got to go with MCU all the way.
I would love to live
MCU, yeah.
Put me in Endgame. I'll be the dude behind Tony when he claps his fingers, crunches. No! Oh god!
Man, I've made a commitment to those two movies. I cannot watch them unless I watch them back to back.
And you were like, the Batman's 3 hours. Like,
I have to do 6 hours. Sorry, I gotta do them back to back.
I'm cool with that.
Great question, thank you, Richie.
Brilliant
by the way, Ian, if you had to put yourself in any John Carpenter or Kurt Russell movie, which one would you put yourself in?
So on Precinct 13.
It's not Kurt.
Well, it's a Carpenter movie.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I immediately thought Big Trouble in Little China.
I thought that too. That was the first one that came to mind.
I'm thinking Big Trouble in Little China. I do like that weather station though. Out in the snow.
Nice.
Does it have to be specifically Carpenter, or can it be the world created? Because you could go into Halloween Kills and every time it's like evil dies tonight, you can be like, no, it won't.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It's gonna leave us to
shut up.
movie.
You're a dick.
Fuck's sake! Stop chasing this old man. He's not done anything wrong.
The horrifying thing is, I don't have my sources to back this up, but I did read that Halloween Ends doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the Michael Myers Halloween franchise, but it's the end of this trilogy of Halloween movies.
When that guy, fucking matey from Weird Science, puts the mask on at the end, like walks up, evil lives tonight, and Ian's just throwing everything at his TV. Like, it'd be amazing.
I'm gonna buy it on DVD.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to watch this movie and we're going to, oh, dude, it was fucking excellent, no matter what. That's what we're going to be walking out. We're going to be walking out trying to scratch your eyes out, texting you, going, it's fucking great. Like,
Alrighty, next question is from Jay Hines.
What up, Jay?
Gary, why did the first zombie hit with the truck in Raccoon City just up and wander off like that?
Shit writing.
Yeah,
Yes, Gary.
Because it had no brains. Because the movie was like, it's too early for zombies. We got to save them for later.
What were they infected by in that film?
Shit writing.
Shit writing. Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Because like the water supply had been poisoned.
That's right.
But the alarm didn't go off in the city until
The umbrella were poisoned.
Was it not the rats?
Were the umbrella?
No, the rats, right?
I think there was a shot of the rats. I've seen it twice.
No, that's in the game.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, because how hard is this, Ian? That's the point. Just use the fucking shit you've got.
In the film, it's just people what they've been drinking because Chris isn't drinking the water. He's drinking his own protein drink supposedly, and he's alright. But everybody else.
Everyone else drank the water.
Everybody else went to a coffee shop. Well, not any of the Stars members because they didn't get fucking bowled and get radiated.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets hit by a truck at the beginning, turns into a zombie, gets up and walks off, and it was fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's honestly, fucking Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 was better than Welcome.
I know. I said it in my single review that I did on Twitch with the Resident Evil. I was like, man, I miss the Paul W.S. Anderson fest of movies compared to this. This was an absolutely an abomination.
Final chapter.
Unpopular sequels that are better than the original. Resident Evil Apocalypse 2.
Yeah,
the second one is better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, let's compare these two pieces of
Nemesis
shit.
Friend.
Yeah, fucking
Nemesis
rubber poop monster. Because rubber poop monster.
No, and the Resident Evil 1 had an awesome soundtrack.
That on your wall.
It had an awesome soundtrack. I didn't do it. Okay, that did also stop the recording there too. Let me just hit the record button and... Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh no, it's fine. It'll do that thing.
It'll do that thing.
It just means I've got more editing to do now.
We're back.
Thanks, tech support. You guys are heroes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we didn't miss too much there. Oh dear. Oh.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, next question. Let me just mark that one done. The next question is from Morphine21.
What up, Morphine?
Hey guys, have any of you noticed how in the past 5 or 7 years movies with budgets of 50 to even 100 million have been looking cheap and low budget? And what's your opinions to why? Keep up the good work. I've seen this, I saw this in Black Panther and Captain Marvel, was it? The ones that were rushed out before the big Avengers movies. The special effects in that look so rushed that the characters looked like plasticine as they were getting bounced around the screen. I was like,
yeah, man.
It's got the money, but it's rushed.
Yeah, but it's where the money's going because, clearly, say if you go, Captain Marvel's got a budget of 100 million, and we're paying Samuel L. Jackson 75 million. So.
Yeah. I literally.
Anyway, computer department. If you could work a miracle, So yeah, a lot. Yeah, I think a lot of it. Deadlines have become the enemy of media of the last few years. Gaming is the biggest example of it. Is like AAA titles almost don't exist. I even though I haven't played it, I'm so pleased to hear that Elden Ring is so good quality wise because finally we've got one.
See, but the funny thing is
we've been dying on our ass, haven't we?
From Software are kind of like, for some people, the Disney of the gaming industry. So
totally.
It's the same thing with Disney where they say, right, we're going to release this film in 6 months. We ply it with money, we hit it with the best shit that we can, and then we get the film out. Other people go, oh, we need to do what Disney do, so we're going to fucking try and get a film out in that time, and we don't have the money or the direction or the good writing or the...
I think there's a lot of sort of... everyone's trying to build a franchise now. No one's really interested in putting a movie out, so they just, you've got to have certain action beats, like every X amount of pages and stuff, and sometimes it's like we haven't got the know-how to realize what we're trying to put into a movie sometimes,
Yeah, it's crazy though if you really, really think about it, right? And I'm not trying to be too deep. It's probably the two beers.
Oh shit! We're on two beers. Right. Everyone, strap yourselves in.
We're in that era that we.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm just getting a weird sound echo, so I don't know where that's coming from. been worried about this microphone for a while.
To the lead.
It might be the lead. I'm not sure what's causing it, but yeah, the microphone. I'm very worried that the microphone is breaking.
Okay.
I've had issues over the last week with in Discord calls. The microphone's been touchy, and obviously the last time around. But yeah, we're not really connecting with the cable at all. But hopefully it'll hold out for just a little bit longer. And the sound echo is also gone.
Keep that up, and then you'll
be
able
to buy a new wire.
Fails.
Yeah.
Did we answer that question? We're going for the next one.
Yeah, I think we decided on deadlines.
Deadlines.
Being rushed.
I think it's got to be, dude.
Yeah.
And it's people are noticing it more and more and more, aren't they? You know.
Yeah. Next question is from Mongo Mitch.
Hey, Mongo.
What's up?
If there was a Predator remake, which action stars would be the soldiers in that film? I guess like from modern cast. John Cena.
Fucking beat me by half a second. And
right.
But he'd be the Predator because no one can see him, right? So
nice, very nice.
You know what? Fuck it. If we're going for it, so we're
Jason Momoa would be
Jason
Billy.
Momoa. Yeah,
right, he'd be
John
Billy,
Cena,
right?
Yeah. Let's
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I was going to say Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, Jason Statham.
So wait. John Cena is
Chris
Dutch?
Hemsworth.
John Cena's
Dutch.
Leader of the group.
Okay, so who's Dylan? You son of a bitch.
That would be.
And
that would be
I'm not
Cavill.
being funny. No, not be funny. You can't whitewash him. He's got to stay black. So who's it going to be? Just be a dick. Idris Elba.
It's gotta be Idris Elba. Yeah, I was thinking the guy from Luther.
Because then you get fucking.
Idris Elba.
Because then you get. Because then you get Peacemaker and fucking Thingy back together from Suicide Squad.
Yes.
On another Suicide Squad mission. Shit!
Okay.
I just wrote the sequel.
So Jason
Jason Momoa is Billy.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Billy. All right.
Because there's no Native Americans left.
The Rock. Yeah, The Rock needs to be minigun guy. Blaine.
Well done, good call.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and there's a tide of wrestling there as well.
So,
Jesse
Jason Statham's gonna be the fucking poncho character who gets killed off early.
No, that's Sean Bean, surely. He's killed off early. No, he's got to be younger. So yeah, Statham's a good call. And then who's Shane Black?
He's got to be the little guy.
He's got to be the little guy.
Kevin Hart. Because The Rock's in it.
No.
So
Jason,
I assume
Jason
he just
Statham,
comes along with him.
Jason Statham's the little guy.
Okay.
No, you need a tech guy. Like fucking hell, he looks too. I don't buy for a minute. He knows how to turn a fucking iPhone on.
He's smaller than fucking The Rock, Jason.
I do want Jason Statham to punch the Predator.
Fucking John Cena. He's the smallest out of all of them. Jason Statham would be kicking with the
True, compared to all the others.
But he wasn't like an action dude in that Shane Black. He was the one who had the most normal physique, I guess, out of everyone, wouldn't they? So it'd be funny to drop like just fucking Seth Rogen in there or something, just for fucking shits and giggles.
Fucking Seth Rogen.
Oh no, Sebastian Stan, right?
Oh,
from Pam and Tommy.
Yeah.
Nice, good shout. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Totally
so right. We're going for John Cena for Dutch.
Yeah.
We're going for fucking Idris Elba as Dylan. We're going as Jason Momoa for Billy. We're going with The Rock.
No. Billy was Jason. Oh yeah, Jason Momoa. Sorry.
Jason Momoa is Billy. We're going The Rock for Blaine. We're going. Who's going for?
Jason Statham is Poncho.
Jason Statham is Poncho, and what's his face would be the fucking.
Who did I just say? With
Billy.
the glasses.
No. The guy with the fucking big razor. Mac. Who's Mac?
Oh, Mac. Yeah, we didn't cast Mac.
Who's Mac?
Terry Crews.
Nice.
Terry Crews is Mac there. There you go.
Brilliant question. Alrighty.
Oh, and you get, and by the way, you get like fucking Thor Bjornsson, like the Mountain, to play the Predator.
Oh god, yeah.
So he's like
just a green screen mask.
Yeah, you don't even need to put him in any makeup.
He's
like,
holy shit. He's literally just wearing.
Oh, and
fur.
They're fighting tonight, aren't they? Isn't it Eddie Hall versus Thor tonight?
Yeah, I think. So.
I mean, if they've started, they've probably finished.
Is it MMA?
No, it's a boxing match.
Matt, is it MMA or boxing? Yeah,
boxing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and our last question for the podcast is from Nellabo. Where can you find over 1,000 films in one please or place for a very affordable fee?
I mean, Netflix? Am I missing something?
I don't know. The Pirate Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, Troma Now!
Oh,
Troma Now!
Thank fuck you're in the chat, mate.
It's time for sleep. Yes, if you guys want to go and see a shit ton of I'm being yelled at in the chat. I'm being humiliated. It's fine. I'm going to bed now. Yes, everyone, please. You saw the interview today with Troma. Nella has just dropped the link in the chat. Get a month free subscription. Go and watch a shit ton of shitty movies said in the best possible way with all the affection. Because these movies are, as you heard, are fan-funded movies. And, heaven knows, Troma very really doesn't almost exist, bit by bit, film by film. They're hanging in there. And
like all independent cinema.
Like all of independent cinema. So, yes, if you've got some spare change, sign up to Troma, especially at the end of this month to see their latest film, Shakespeare's Shit Storm. With that being said, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone for hanging out in this stream today for podcast number 43. I'm just going to very quickly go back and say thank you to Chickenpox1 for the follow. And thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Dreadful for the raid. And to Easy Rip for the follow, and Black Magic for the raid as well earlier. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you had fun listening to this podcast. We will be back next month with our next podcast. It's been awesome. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Love your faces.